Eagles. Eagles.
Welcome in, everybody, to the JAKIB Postgame Show. The Philadelphia Eagles get a win and move to 8-2 on the year and move one step closer to securing the NFC East. Welcome in, everybody, to the JAKIB Postgame Show. I'm Zander Krause. That's Dan Sileo. We'll be joined by John McMullen from Lincoln Financial Field coming up later on in the program after he talks to a couple people down at the stadium. Big Sills, how do you like your crow serve, my friend? Eagles get the win tonight. What do you think?
Thank God you have Saquon Barkley. And I said to you the other day that the team runs through that guy. Make no mistake about it. It runs through him. He is the most valuable player on that football team, and there is no getting around it. You don't have Saquon Barkley, you're not winning any football games this year. You're inconsistent in the passing game. There is no doubt that that offensive line and that running back are the kings of what makes that offense move. I'll tell you something I'm sold on here, too. I'm sold now officially on that defense. Vic Fangio called a spectacular football game. And, dude, what is up with Brandon Graham? He was absolutely sensational, and I'll say it here. Jalen Carter reminds me of Jerome Brown now in play, not just in prospect. He played his ass off. Dude, he is a force in the middle. Make no mistake about it. By the way, that big giant hit by Zach Bond to stop that first down on fourth down that turned the ball over. Shitty play calling by Cliff Kingsbury at that moment because it gave the ball back and they were ending up going on and taking the lead in that game. I got to tell you something, man. Here's the things I'm completely sold on. Your quarterback once again taking sacks, bad throws, bad situational playing in the first half. I mean, he was terrible in the first half. Jake Elliott, I don't know what's happened to him, but that guy used to be one of the most reliable kickers in the game.
Nick Sirianni iced him, dude. He iced him.
And make no mistake about it, that guy had a horrific night for a kicker. He cost him 7 points in the ball game. Again, the defense is playing great football. The corners, hey, give it to Q, man. Terry McLaurin was a non-factor in that ball game. He was a non-factor in that game. Barely any targets. Fantastic job in the secondary. Blankenship steps up. Really had a great game on defense. I mean, look, man, they shut the rookie down. They did a great job on him. But, dude, there's no excuses for that play by Jalen Hurts. And you know what? I'll say, you look at the numbers, you're like, but watch the game. Use your eyeballs. I mean, taking sacks, what have you.
I'm sorry. I'm not even going to disagree with you here. And everybody's going to be very upset that they win the game. You know,
no, it's a great win.
I'm excited about the game, and I'm excited about the defense. And I think you hit the nail on the head with Saquon Barkley. Nothing about what I just watched, nothing made me feel better about us as an offense going into the latter half of the year, trying to compete with playoff teams and trying to win games through the air.
You're not winning a Super Bowl with that type of performance. You're just not, and you're not winning that with that quarterback playing like that. You've got to be better in the passing game. You just have to be better. Now, again, here's the deal. And like you said, let's flip this thing around and go like this. They're taking command of what they have to do, Zander. That's win the East, get yourself wins, be in contention with Detroit, so that you get home field. But again, I mean, if anybody looks at that game and went, you thought you played well offensively, there is no doubt, dude. The defense is carrying this football team. Can I make a comparison to you, Zander? This thing reminds me of the Chiefs a little. You know, the Chiefs have kind of sputtered.
I was thinking that as I'm watching it.
Hey, it's the Chiefs' offense has been sputtering up and down.
Is this a transition to becoming a defensive football team?
They are a running defensive football team, and there's no getting around it. There's just no getting around it. I mean, dude, great here. A+ for the defense. They were fantastic in this football game.
That was Jayden Daniels' worst game by far. Zach Bond is legit. Nakobe Dean, dude, he's making plays left and right. The defensive line, Jalen Carter, you mentioned him. I mean, whole slew of stuff.
Josh Sweat was all over the place.
Josh Sweat, man, he's playing great football, no doubt about it. Let's get into everything. I want to set the stage, though. I want to thank everybody first for being here. We got a whole lot of new members coming in. Eric Holland becomes a member. Philly to Chicago becomes a member. Broad becomes a member. And that's it for now. The reason that is significant, everybody, is because Saquon Barkley exploded again, 146 yards on the ground. And what do you have in the air? He must have had a lot of
like
air
almost
yards
50,
as well.
like something like that. I mean,
Let me pull up the
Zander,
exact numbers.
they
52 in the air as well. So wait, let me just get this out. We'll be giving away a Saquon Barkley jersey. So I pinned the message in the chat. If you want to become a member to support the channel, we will be giving away a Saquon Barkley jersey coming up. So make sure you guys get your memberships in, and we appreciate our new members for checking in. We will get to all super chats as well. Appreciate everybody for being here. And the Birds moved to 8-2, everybody, with a 26-18 win. Jalen Hurts tonight was 18-28 for 221. Saquon Barkley was 26 carries for 146. Kenny Gainwell Sills run the ball well, 4 for 43 tonight, an average of 10.8. And Jalen Hurts had 10 carries for 39 yards on the ground. Nothing big in the receiver column. A.J. Brown, 5 catches for 65 yards. Dallas Goedert, 5 catches for 61 yards. And a crazy fumble, which Calcaterra maybe put the game on ice by recovering. And Saquon Barkley, 2 catches for 52 yards. Obviously had that big 43-yard gain. Devontae Smith, just 4 catches for 29 yards for him. So a good game. Eagles move and get the win, move to 8-2 on the year. They are going to be in the driver's seat to take the NFC East here and get the win. Go ahead, Sills.
No, again, I mean, dude, they took care of business tonight. There's no question about it. And I see people in here saying, well, he outplayed Daniels. Daniels, again, a rookie. I mean, for Jalen Hurts to look like that, so inconsistent, that offense, Kellen Moore has not improved the passing offense. That football team is one-dimensional.
Can I ask you something about Jalen?
Football team. That's it. They are very inconsistent, and they get no consistency out of the passer and the quarterback. He is not what people think, and I will continue to hammer that point. Now, look, again, you're going to hang on the most important thing. The kid wins. There's no doubt about it. And I got to, one more time, Jalen Hurts was a force running the football again, man. I mean, some of those third downs that he picked up, I mean, as much as Barkley was really the force in this football game, make no mistake about it, man. Some of those third down pickups that he had, that one that he reached out, and they went back and they checked it again and he got the first down. That was an enormous play in the football game, man. He really runs the ball well.
No doubt. Let me thank all of our new members for being here. Appreciate it, guys. Saquon Barkley on a tear. We'll be giving away our 5th jersey this week. Looking forward to doing that. Let me ask you something about Jalen Hurts, because I'm with you. That was not his best game, clearly. Did it look to you, and I talked about this on the halftime show, those 2 hits that he took to his head, Sills, I'm not going to lie to you, I thought he was seeing stars after that trick play, by the way, atrocious trick play, and Jalen slammed his head into the turf. Then he had A.J. Brown wide open. He threw a ball into the dirt. I'm like, I think Jalen Hurts is seeing stars out there. I don't think he's himself. Yeah. Did you take anything away from that?
It was a big hit, and I thought they cleared him as quick as they possibly could to get him back out there, but I don't think they would take any dangerous steps by putting him back.
I don't either. I'm not saying that. I was just wondering.
I know you're not. I'm just saying that to me, I mean, no question about it. I thought that rattled him a little bit because some of those throws were absolutely terrible, especially the sideline throws to AJ today were just not good passes. Once again, Zander, I'm going to say it again, man. That guy is streaky, man. One time he looks spectacular throwing it. Another time he just looks not good enough, man. I mean, I don't know. I mean, I did not think he played exceptionally well tonight. I just thought he was okay tonight in the ball game. And I thought clearly the running game with Gainwell and with obviously Barkley. Hey, and for the record here, I personally thought Washington played as good a game defensively as they possibly could. I thought they completely shut down the Eagle offense in the first half. And I think they just ran out of gas in the second half because there were too many 3-and-outs by the offense.
Yeah, they wore them down. I mean, look, that's why you stick with the run, though.
That offense by the Washington Commanders, and that's a great deal.
Yeah, and that's why you stick with the run, Sills, because you could tell by the end of that game, boy, that defense was worn down completely, and they could not stop them, and then it became just an all-out, a running affair. They couldn't stop them.
There was no excuse for that offense. And once again, the shittiest first-quarter offense in pro football happens to be in Philadelphia. I mean, once again, slow starts, sacks. Hey, you know what? You've given up 7. That guy's had 7 sacks in 2 weeks. 7 sacks in 2 weeks that he's given up. I mean, they shut them down completely in the first half. Again, Zander, you shake your head and I go, that's holding the ball too long, not reading the defenses.
You're right. If you look at why the sacks were taken, it is. It's not because of some of them. I mean, look, there was one last week where Overshown wasn't blocked, and and I'm not going to beat him up for that. But you're right. There's instances where he's holding on to the ball, and not only that. I mean, look, and I'm not even trying to pick on the guy. I'm just analyzing the game from the way I see it. He hesitates. You watch it on TV, you're like, get rid of it, get rid of it, get rid of it. And I can't see who he's throwing to. I can't see what he's looking at. So I'm not going to try and make a proclamation about something. But, you got to get rid of the football in the NFL. You only have so much time back there. And he hesitates and hesitates and hesitates. And you see it. So hopefully he cleans some of that stuff up.
You're not winning a Super Bowl with that type of play. You're just not. I mean, you're going to win games. And you're going to win a lot of games. But you're not winning Super Bowls. You're not beating Lamar Jackson in a Super Bowl, or you're not beating a player like Mahomes. That's the kind of shit right there that causes you to lose games like that. Brock Purdy, again.
But let me ask you this:
you're not beating those guys like this.
I'm not saying you're not wrong in terms of he needs to be better, but with a defense that's playing like this, and with a running back that's running the ball like he is, it sure makes your life a little bit easier.
Rookie quarterbacks in the playoffs.
That's true. I know that. But, I mean, right now the defense looks pretty legit, dude. That was Jayden Daniels' worst game of the year by far.
How about this, Zander? Vic Fangio said we know what the defense looked by week 11 or 12. Well, we know what it is now.
Yeah, we do.
I'll make the proclamation on it, and I will definitely say what everyone wants to hear. That defense is as good as it gets, and I come away from this football game thinking this, man, that's a top 5 unit. Dude, look at this too, man. I mean, Zach Bond, Jesus criminy, 15 total tackles, man. I mean, look, this guy is playing as good. And the hit he had on Daniels on that 4th down to stop that guy. Do you know when you have a guy running like that and you're running on an angle and you're running angle like that, for him to have that kind of force to knock him back like that, he knocked that quarterback backwards. The quarterback's running forward. And he knocked him backwards to stop him from getting that first down. That was a sensational football play. And boy, I'll tell you what, the more and more you watch Zach Bond play, the better and better he's getting. I mean, the 3 superstars out there today, in my opinion, for the Eagles were Zach Bond, Quinyon Mitchell, and Jalen Carter.
Yeah, and we're going to get to
Quinn. Obviously, we're sensational.
Saquon. Yeah, Saquon too. I mean, you missed Saquon, but he's the obvious one. Zach Bond, let me tell you, and we'll get to Quinyon Mitchell. What a performance. I mean, Scary Terry, are you out there?
I know, man.
Are you alive? I mean, I didn't even know the guy was playing. Yeah. I mean, Quinyon Mitchell, what a performance by him. But let me tell you something about Zach Bond, because I got the screen on. I got the TV on in my studio. This is what's happening with Zach Bond, everybody, and I'm getting a little nervous if they don't extend him soon. Guess who did the post-game interview alongside Jalen Hurts with the Prime crew?
Oh.
Zach Bond. He's starting to get that treatment from the media. Last week he got the podium treatment. The more he continues to play like this, especially on prime time, that price tag is going up and up and up. And he has another unbelievable game today, man. Zach Bond, really, really impressive what he's been able to do in this defense.
Vic Fangio was sensational. I didn't think Kellen had the greatest game. Turn around and hand the ball off to Barkley. That, to me, is not an offense that's a championship offense. But I'll tell you what, that's a championship running back. I'll tell you this, Andrew.
Dude, right now, it's a championship defense. Until I'm proven otherwise, it's a championship defense.
Not scoring from the pocket. You're not winning a Super Bowl with a quarterback that's name me a Super Bowl in the last 20 years.
If you have a defense that's number 1 or number 2 in the league, you're going to be in any moment.
You're not going to win a Super Bowl with that. You're not beating Mahomes with that. You're not winning an NFC title game with that performance.
So let's rewind for a second and just go through this, because I hear what you're saying, and I'm not brushing it aside as if it doesn't have any merit. But if we go back to, let's say, 2.5 quarters into this game and remove the last onslaught of scoring, the only reason we were still in this football game was because of the defense. Okay. The Commanders should have been way up on us in the first half.
Understood. But like I said, you're not playing rookies in the playoffs.
I know, but
why
did you wait? Why did you tell me all week how good Jayden Daniels was, why they were going to upset the Eagles, and now we shut him down.
You're comparing Jalen Hurts to a rookie. All right, you're right. You're right. You're going to win a Super Bowl with just defense alone and a running game.
But defense wins championships, Sills. Come on, that's football.
How about this? You and I will agree to disagree. I got nothing else to say on that.
Oh, BS. You know better than anybody that
defense.
I have
never seen a team win a Super Bowl running the ball and just playing defense. Doesn't happen in today's NFL.
Not in today's NFL, maybe, but in the history of the NFL, the vast majority of Super Bowl winners do it because they have a great defense.
In the recent 20 years of Super Bowl play, that's never happened.
I don't know.
Never happened.
No, I watched Peyton Manning win a Super Bowl with the Broncos on the heels of that defense. Von Miller got Super Bowl MVP
elite
that
year. Quarterbacks win Super Bowls, not elite running backs.
I never said elite running backs did.
Name me a running back in the last 20 years that has won a Super Bowl that carried a team to a Super Bowl championship. Name me one.
You're twisting my words. I never said an elite running back.
You're not listening here. You're trying to tell me you got an elite guy. You don't. You need a player who's consistent at that position, and you don't have one.
Is our defense elite?
Getting there.
You're right. They still got to keep proving it, but I'm not saying we can win with just Saquon.
You're not playing rookies in the postseason.
Yeah, but come on, man. Jayden Daniels has been playing. Oh, look.
Wait.
We did our top 10 quarterbacks on the shows this week. You had him number 4, dude.
People have him as an MVP candidate, not just me, dude.
That's my point. So who cares if he's a rookie?
You can win a Super Bowl with this, what you did tonight. Okay.
I started the show, and everybody was ripping me in the comments by saying nothing about what we did on offense made me feel better about the offense. I don't really know
what else to say. I made my point.
Moving on. Quinyon Mitchell-Sills completely took Scary Terry out of the game. I mean, did he even what's he on vacation? I mean, another guy we debated this guy's supposed to be a top guy. Quinyon Mitchell completely took him out of the football game.
Xander, he's the guy.
He's legit.
He's legit. I mean, you know why? Because now it's Jamar Chase, it's Terry McLaurin, it's Mike Evans to a point.
Yes.
I mean,
CeeDee Lamb. I mean, it's been a lot of guys. Dude.
I mean, we're now getting here where I voted on the Rookie of the Year guys this week. There's no doubt, man. He now gets up there. I mean, Jared Verse better pick his game up because this guy's picked his game up. Hey, I'll tell you what. Last year, Jalen Carter lost the Rookie of the Year award because of what happened last year with the coaching staff. This guy's trending up towards winning the Rookie of the Year award. What a great-looking football player. Dude, Terry McLaurin was completely silenced in this ball game. He put the mute button on him, man. It was sensational. I mean, can I make 0
yards? I mean, I think I have to check on Christopher. I think he's right though. I think Q gave up literally 0 yards.
Dude. Can I make a point?
Go for it.
It looks a little like Darrelle Revis.
Wow.
It looks a little like Darrelle Revis. Okay. I mean, and by the way, let's always circle back to this. I mean, they win this football game. This is big, man. This is a big win. This is a huge win. It's an NFC East win. It's where you take control, and now you know what you're looking for. You're looking for now a bigger prize, which is home field.
Yep.
You're hanging with the Lions now. Hey, even though I'm talking, and get this, I'm talking about down the line here, not right now. Right now, they took control of the NFC East. So I have to circle back to that, Xander, and I have to make sure that is the number one thing that I say here. They did exactly what they had to do tonight, get control of the East. They've grabbed control. I'll tell you this, that game in Washington won't be easy, okay? That's going to be a difficult game because everyone thought they were going to blow that team. They did not blow that team out. Okay, they did not blow Washington out. And that game, again, the quarterback is going to have to play better. Maybe he's going to clearly have to play better.
I predicted a sweep, and I think I'll be proven correct on the sweep of the Washington Commanders.
Well, again, we'll see. I mean, so you're saying that the Eagles are going to sweep all the teams in the East this year?
I am.
Okay.
I'm saying that in confidence. I believe that we are far and away better than every other team in the East. I believe the Commanders are good. I don't think they're there yet, as I said all week on the shows. And look, now they're sitting at what are they?
You thought to grade the performance of the Eagles tonight?
Offense, I mean, it's tough. It's tough to go lower than a B when you have a running back explode for 150 yards. If you want to grade individually, I'm not giving Hertz a high grade. I'm with you on that. You know,
it's balanced.
It wasn't really balanced, was it? I mean, you didn't really get going in the passing game at all.
The numbers and I go like this. I don't know, 221.
I mean, what did he throw for? I think he threw for a little over 200, but it's kind of a deceptive 200. 220 he threw for.
I mean, look here. They were dominant at the run. They wore them out in the second half. Even like you said, even Gainwell. And here, remember what we said also too, Zander, prior to the game? We said this: if you're hanging around 38 to 42 carries in this ball game, you're going to run them off the scoreboard. And to me, that's kind of exactly what they did a little bit here. When you look at the team numbers here, I mean, like I heard John talking at the halftime. And he's right. I mean, look at this, 23 to 18 in first downs. Third down, they were 9 to 16, which is exceptional because you're anything over 50%. But here's the thing, too. They ran 70 offensive plays to 63, 434 to 264. I can't remember, Zander, the last time a football team had 300 yards of offense against that Eagle defense. I mean, you're now starting to put it together. But here it is here. Here's the big number, 228 yards rushing again. I mean, 93, they held them to 93. Hey, and I also said Austin Eckler was going to be a difficult cover. He was basically the only offense they had in this game.
He was really their whole offense, especially in that first half. I mean,
and Zander, they had 40 attempts rushing the football, which is right where you want to be. Jalen threw for 28 attempts. That's fine. But again, when that team runs the ball for 40 times and they're getting that kind of yardage, there is no way you're going to stop that football team. They are an exceptional running attack, and that Goliath matchup coming up in 2 weeks with Baltimore on the 1 and 2 running attacks in football is going to be quite the game to watch. And personally, I don't know if Baltimore has defensive football guys that are going to be able to stop that run. But hey, A+ running the ball, I would give it a C in the passing game.
Yeah, I'm okay with that. I think that's fair. The passing game was very underwhelming tonight. I mean, I put it out on Twitter. A lot of people clapping back on me there. A lot of people clapping back at me in the chat. And I'm fine with that. But my honest opinion and my honest evaluation of that game is it's a great win.
Yep.
Nothing about what they did tonight made me feel better about the passing game. Now, let me ask you this, though, right? Because I do, part of me when I zoom out a little bit and I go, all right, it's an NFC East battle. It's Thursday night football. It's one of those old school battles where, like I said to you on the pregame show tonight, I'm like, do you just throw out the stats, go out and win by any means necessary?
Yes.
Like, I'm not happy with Hertz's performance, but is it one of those things where you go, fuck the way we won? Who cares what it looked like? We got the win. We're 8-2. We're in position now to do what we want to do. Move on, right?
I watched a game years ago. Yes. I watched a game years ago on Monday Night Football where the New York Giants beat the San Francisco 49ers. I think it was like 9-6. It was one of the greatest games I ever watched because those two teams went back and forth, and those two teams had been playing NFC championship games. And like you said, Zander, nope, this isn't college football where there's a college football panel that's going to go, hey, this didn't look good this way. This didn't look good. Hey, man, 2 weeks from now, do you think anybody's really going to look at that and go like this? Hey, they beat the Commanders. They beat them by 8. I mean, that's what they're going to look at, and they're going to say they took control of the NFC East. So I get it. I mean, I'm with you on that. I mean, that's one of those games. Like, look, if this was San Francisco, it's a different conversation. But this is an East game. I don't give a crap what anyone says. The weekend game this weekend with the Steelers and the Ravens. Do you think you're going to see a clean game in that one?
Right.
Not going to see a clean game in that one.
Yeah, no doubt about it, man. A big win tonight. Let's talk about Jake Elliott, Big Sills. 2 missed field goals, missed point after. I mean,
are you giving him a mulligan for this? Because he's been good, dude. He's been really good for you guys. Do you give him a mulligan and go like this, or do you think this becomes a trend? I think the Eagles will probably let this thing go a couple weeks here, and if this thing continues, dude, to me, it's not so much the field goals, Zander. It was the PAT and the field goals once he missed the PAT. And Zander, The last PAT attempt he had, he almost missed that one too. I was like,
it's all left too. It's all left. He's hooking them all left.
Again, like you said, NFC East games, those games. Hey man, when that guy's Jayden Daniels has more experience, that 7 points might actually mean something down the line. You know what I'm saying?
Commander, yeah. You're talking about a playoff game. You're talking about the Ravens game. You're talking about the Steelers game. I mean, when you play good teams in the NFL, every point is valuable. I mean, you can't just leave points on the board. Look, I'm not going to sit here and say we got to move on from Jake Elliott. I think he's been good enough to earn a couple whiffs. But I will say this. He's 0 for 4 this year from 50 plus.
Which is shocking.
John pointed out to me in the halftime show. He missed 2 field goals last year. Yep. He missed 2 field goals in the first half tonight. Does he have the yips? I mean, is his confidence completely destroyed?
I'm going to give him a mulligan on this because you know what? We're now in the middle part of the season. Do you really want to make a move and a change at field goal kicker when you know that point differential in this league is 3 points? Hey, one other thing too. Officiating in that fucking game was terrible.
Awful.
The NFL officiating, man. I mean, I can't tell you how many times I saw missed calls in that game. You have the benefit of instant replay, and you can't get it.
There's a replay of the Smith face mask. I mean, it's playing on the Jumbotron in the stadium.
When you grab the underneath of the helmet, that's the equivalent of a face mask.
Yes, they said that on the broadcast, and then they're showing it. The refs are standing there in a huddle as the replay's playing behind them, and they pick up the flag. I'm like, terrible. What are you doing?
Terrible call. I thought they got the call right on the 2-point conversion by Herz. I thought
that was good. That was a good catch by Herz.
Great play by him.
Yeah, a little garbage time for them. I get what they're.
But the Cooper, absolutely, Keith. The Cooper DeJean hold was atrocious of a call. I didn't even know what he did. I didn't see it. It was a terrible call. There were a lot of shitty calls in that game last night.
Yeah, there was. There were no doubt. There was a ton of crappy calls. I want to thank everybody for being here. We got a great crowd in here. Make sure you guys smash that like button for us. We should get at least 1,000 likes tonight with the Philadelphia Eagles moving to 8-2. Everybody, we are in the driver's seat right now. We can nitpick. We can talk about Hertz. We can have issues with the game. That's what we're going to do. We have to analyze the game here for a couple hours. But the fact of the matter is we're 8-2. We're in the driver's seat for the NFC East, and we're pretty close to the driver's seat for the NFC. We control our destiny right now, and right now we can put ourselves on a track to make sure the NFC might come through Philly. If Detroit has one slip up, we got to be ready to take advantage of it. Good stuff for the Philadelphia Eagles. They get the win tonight.
The play calling of Kellen Moore tonight.
I mean, I do go back to what John says a lot. Like, are we going to judge the play calls or are we going to judge the execution? Because Jalen Hurts couldn't execute shit tonight. Like, let's be real. I know everybody's going to I know. You just want to talk about how great it is that we won. Jalen Hurts missed so many guys tonight. I mean, did you see the one play where Dallas Goedert was running wide open in the flats for a touchdown in the first half? Devontae Smith, Saquon Barkley, both in the end zone. There were so many plays.
Would it be fair to say he missed 6 wide open passes tonight?
At least. So that my point of saying that is, if he executes those, do we have a different approach? Where good game by Kellen Moore, right? I mean, look, it didn't look good to me, but was it Kellen Moore? Was it Jalen? I don't know what it was there.
This is where John's player execution. Jalen didn't execute. I'll tell you one thing about Hertz, though, and I got to give him kudos on this. He's one tough fucker.
Who?
Okay, Jalen.
No, yes, he is. Yes, he is.
I'll tell you this, man. He runs with power. He plays with power. He plays with a drive. All the things like, hey, get this. He may not have played a great game tonight, but you know what he did play? He played a tough-ass game. Yes, and if I'm a football player on that sideline and I watch my quarterback play like that, that gives me like this. I love that stuff.
No, you're right.
You're not going to – hey, football's a non-perfect game. You know, I mean, like you said, Zander, we're going to sit here and go and cut and dice and slice up things, and we're going to make it look like this, and we're creating content here, and we're doing this. At the end of the day, though, if you're a player on that sidelines and you're watching that guy play the way he plays with a veracity and a toughness that you want to have as your guy and your team. Again, maybe the executions, and I'm overcritical sometimes of the way he passes the football, but at the end of the day, that's a guy you want on your football team.
No doubt about it. Look, it's a gladiator sport, and he gets up there, he fights, he battles. I will say, I haven't ruled out that he was banged up tonight from those 2 hits he took to the head. Like,
You think he was concussed tonight?
I'm not using it as an excuse for the bad play.
Oh, that is an excuse. If he was concussed tonight, that is an excuse.
Well, it is, but I'm saying, we don't know yet, and they put him back in the game and they cleared him from the protocol. But that dude, I thought he was seeing stars in the first half. I'm telling you, I was tweeting it. I'm like, is nobody else seeing what I'm seeing? Remember, he had the play to A.J. Brown where I'm blanking on the defender's name. Jeremy Chin fell. A.J. Brown's wide. It was 12, 14 yards away from him.
No, I saw that.
And he throws the ball into the dirt. I'm like, that's not Jalen Hurts, dude.
Okay,
Something's wrong with him right now. And that's where I'm like, he might be concussed. I wasn't sure, but I think it's possible.
You know what? This is going to sound so awful. I love that. I'm playing through that shit. I'm going to be out there. I'm playing with – dude, if I'm blocking for him, I'm doing everything in my power to make sure I protect him.
Yep.
And when you're playing defense, you're making sure everything you can to help him and get them off the field. And I'm talking Washington Commanders. Dude, that's toughness in the pocket, Zander. You can't put a premium on that, dude. Pocket presence and pocket toughness is one of the absolutely most important things that you could possibly have, that a quarterback has to have, especially when he's playing in the NFL. And it was essential in how he plays his ball game, that he's tough like that in the pocket.
Yep.
Kudos
there's
to him.
no doubt.
Listen, I'm critical of him in his passing game. I am not critical of his toughness and the way he runs the ball.
Yeah, no doubt. I mean, he's definitely a tough guy. And look, I do think there's some criticism of his game tonight when you're talking about the pocket, but I think you're right, man. He's just a relentless player, and that inspires people. It really does. It inspires players. It makes you want to play for people. And he definitely has that attribute. Good stuff there. Big Sills. Are there any other takeaways from that stuck out to you? We hit on Zach Bond, tremendous. Quinyon Mitchell, Jalen Hurts, Saquon Barkley, obviously. We got our members coming in. You saw Bill Fleming put the message up on the screen. Thank you, Bill. He was our first jersey giveaway, and he put in a nice comment to say, hey, man, the jersey giveaway is real. I got the jersey in a couple days. He gave it to his grandson, which was pretty cool. So big thanks to all of our new members. We give away, if you're new here to JAKIB, we give away a Saquon Barkley jersey every time he gets 125 yards, not just running, receiving as well. So any all-purpose yards for Saquon Barkley. When he goes over 125, we give away a jersey to a member. So become a member today. We got a bunch of new ones. Tim Hoffman, thank you. Escobar, thank you. Sig Lord, thank you, Sig. Alicia Champion, Old Eagle fan, Dak, Polska. Thanks, everybody. We appreciate all the support you guys have given to the channel today. Big Sills, any other key takeaways that you had, brother?
The young guys. I mean, the young guys are playing. They are up to speed quicker than I could ever. That Cooper DeJean can play. He is a football player. Mitchell is a shutdown corner, and he has every makings of it. Now, remember something. When you say shutdown corner, take a look at Sauce Gardner's year so far. Sauce is getting torched. When that position is the most difficult athletic position to play in pro football, you have to run backwards for 25 yards. Try doing that with someone that's in your cul-de-sac or wherever you live. Think about what you're doing with world-class speed guys that run those wide receiver routes. It's one of the most difficult positions to play, and he's doing a great job. Dude, Nolan Smith showed up. He had a sack tonight. That's a great thing.
A big sack, too. A third down sack.
I thought they did something tonight that was great. Boy, Brandon Graham. How old is that guy, 100? I mean, man. He was everywhere tonight. I mean, that was a great performance by him, man. I mean, Zander, he probably was the second best defensive lineman on that field on both sides of the football. I thought he was great. I thought Sweat was probably the third. Davis, again, is a no-show. I saw him make a tackle, but, Jalen Carter, I gotta go back to that. I played next to Jerome Brown, and I played next to Jerome for 2 years. And I got to tell you, the hands, the quickness, the feet, the disruption, knocking guards off, hitting the quarterback, he looks exactly like Jerome. And if you guys remember, the day he was drafted, I said that guy has all the potential to be Jerome Brown. Go back and look. There's clips of me saying that on draft day, and I'll say it again. Back then, it was potential. I'm seeing it come to fruition a little bit here. Dude, how many snaps did he play tonight, too? I mean, he played a ton of snaps tonight, and he's taking on those double teams. Dude, that is the best defensive tackle that you have had. And I mean, look, Hollis Thomas was a great one. You've had some really great players that have played inside in there since Jerome was there. But this kid is right there with Jerome Brown.
Yeah, it's unbelievable. Both the line stills, I think, deserve some credit. Offensive line again tonight. I mean, I think they were spotty at times. I think Mekhi Becton, he got beat a little bit tonight. But overall, man, that offensive line still proven how good they are. And then, as you mentioned, the defensive line, all three. I think everybody on that D line played pretty good tonight. I even saw Jordan Davis a little bit out there.
Okay, I mean, a little bit. I mean,
he couldn't run the ball, Sills. A lot. He was in a lot of those run mixes.
What was it? What was his numbers? And again? No, it's not fair to say because that's not exactly his job is to pile up points and tackles. But and plus, again, here's the most important statistic. Remember this. This is here's the Jordan Davis stat: 93 yards rushing. In today's NFL, you hold anybody under 120 yards rushing. That's the norm. Is 120 yards in today's NFL. That's what normal teams do. You hold anybody under 120, let alone 100 yards. Zander, I can't remember the last team that scored 300 or had 300 yards in total offense versus the Eagle defense. I mean, I can't remember the last team to do that. I mean, it's been remarkable.
Yeah, it really has.
Fangio might just be the assistant coach of the year.
Yeah, I think he is. I mean, I don't know if he definitely deserves some sort of praise for what he's done with this defense. I mean, we were talking earlier before the season started. Is this linebacker crew the worst in the league? What are we going to see from the young guys? Now they're playing like menaces. Yeah. I mean, you know what else I think is one of the biggest things with this defense this year? I think the infusion of youth. Not only is the youth playing good, but I think the aggression, the speed, the versatility, like that when they're out there, you can feel it. They swarm around, they buzz around. And by the way, you know who else deserves some damn credit? Reed freaking Blankenship. That dude makes plays, Big Sills. I don't give a shit where he was drafted or that he was undrafted. I don't give a shit whether he's black or white. I don't give a shit what anybody wants to say. That guy makes plays consistently for this football team.
No question. I tell you what, even Vic says this about him. He's smart. He's headsy. He knows where to go. And if you think about it, the more reps he gets, the better he's getting. Dude, that Cooper DeJean kid, that guy's like a human missile. Yeah, man, I mean, he just has a radar on him, Zander, that is one of the best young players I've seen. There is no doubt that guy, and again, the thing I take here's my takeaway. Once again, my takeaway from this game, you're inconsistent, still in the passing game. You're exceptional at running the ball. And by the way, this is how this game played out. You're exceptional at running it, and your defense is now becoming exceptionally elite. And I mean, it's a real thing now, okay? You did a job on a team. Remember this. This game was back and forth with Pittsburgh. Yeah. I think Pittsburgh has a damn good defense, and I think Pittsburgh's not awful in offense. And I'll tell you what, man, they didn't score 26. They didn't score 26 points or 28 points.
They got 18, and let's be real.
But what they did tonight, and they're putting these efforts up.
Yeah, I mean, let's be real. They put up 18 tonight, but kind of 8 of them you could argue were a little fuddy. I mean, late in the game there, where they went down in the last minute and scored. So, look, unbelievable performance for the Eagles defense, no doubt. Not all beautiful tonight. I mean, look, I think when you talk about the passing game, I do think Sills has a point. I know many love to call Sills a hater. I don't think Sills is a hater. I think he's giving his honest analysis on the game. The passing game is not. It's not pretty.
It's not championship football.
No, it's not. It's not an upper echelon passing game right now. And Jalen didn't have his best game. So,
Zander, and you know what? When we went back and forth a couple minutes ago, here's my point. Jesus, man, I want to see the offense have the balance that it needs to be a championship team. And you can't have inconsistent play at your quarterback position because look at what happened in the Super Bowl in 22. 2 stupid plays cost them the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
You have to be perfect in the playoffs.
Yep.
You can't be inconsistent like that. You just can't. Now, look, again, I don't think Kellen Moore's improved that offense. I just don't. I don't see. Where do you see it in the passing game? They've improved.
I can't really say they have. I'm not gonna. I mean, look, what do you want me to do? Lie to you? I can't lie. I mean, they haven't improved.
He's probably he actually. Do you think he looks like he's still holding the ball as long as he did a year ago?
Definitely. I think Jalen Hurts is hesitating more now than maybe I've ever seen.
Correct. I think because he's got more responsibility though too.
Right,
okay.
Right. I mean, look, there's some of that has to be factored in where he has taken on a bigger role this year. How much of that is in his head? I don't know. I mean, the reality is that when you watch it, you see it. I mean, you watch him hesitate and you're like, get rid of it, get rid of it, get rid of it.
All you got to do is use your eyes. You don't need to hear me say it. Watch your eyes here. But dude, I got it one more time too on Barkley. I couldn't have been more wrong about a guy coming in. Dude, if you're the New York Giants and you're watching this, you have to want to kill yourself.
I know, man.
This year, man. How do you let that walk out of John Mara was right in Hard Knocks. How in the world do you let that walk out of your building and you get no compensation for it? How did you let Zander, that guy, for him not being in the MVP conversation right now in the league? You're kidding me. That guy. We had this conversation before. You take the quarterbacks out of the conversation. Tell me another football player in the NFL right now outside of Derrick Henry that is playing better ball than Saquon Barkley. Name me one. Name me one player, non-quarterback, that's playing better than him.
I think, hear me out before you jump on me here. Individually, is Saquon playing better than Derrick Henry? I know Henry has more yards, but think about the system, think about the style of runner, and think about the reps he gets there with Lamar Jackson. I think individually,
the reason you probably are right. Lamar's having Saquon's
making something out of nothing on some plays.
Well, here, to your point where you may be right. Ready? You may be right because Lamar's having an iconic year. Okay? I mean, Jalen is nowhere near that player right now. He's nowhere near Lamar's play.
Yeah, no, he's not.
And get this. So that means it's more on Barkley carrying the team. Henry's not really carrying the Ravens. Lamar's carrying the Ravens.
Yes, he is.
Okay? Saquon's carrying the Eagles right now.
He is.
The defense and the offensive running attack is carrying that football team. Hell, I heard John talking to you this morning, and even on the pregame show, John's right, man. That is just not good enough in the passing game. I heard him even at the halftime, Zander, making comments about Hertz's passing game. That's John who likes the guy to have a great relationship saying that.
Yep, no doubt. We'll get to a commercial break here. We're waiting on John McMullen. They are backed up in the locker room. So I'm going to see when we get Johnny Mack in here. We'll talk to John. I'm really looking forward to talking to John because John is a very pragmatic, objective take on the offense as a whole, especially when it comes to that passing game. And I think you guys are going to be in agreement tonight when it comes to passing game doesn't look too good. And John talked about this morning. He doesn't want to see this team regress into a running team because he doesn't think that has the upside that what you're saying basically, of a Super Bowl. So we'll see. I can't wait to talk to John and get
one more thing here too. Well, you know what? You look at the yards here and you're going to go like this. Well, wasn't really one of the superstar football games here by A.J. Brown. But, man, he is so tough in open space to get on the ground. He's got strong hands. They can't get that ball out of his hands. I mean it, dude. Hey, get this. Two dudes that you have to give Howie massive credit for. I did not think Barkley was that guy. I never thought he was the second pick in the draft, and he is. He could have been he played like that in Philly his career. I said it to you before. He's in Canton. That guy, A.J. Brown, you had that guy in Tennessee, and you only threw him the ball for 63 catches a year, and you didn't know what you had, and you had those shitty quarterbacks like Ryan Tannehill.
Let's be real, though. They're not built. I mean, they're not built like we're built.
Okay, well, even though, get this, well, you are because you're a running attack, and so are they.
Yeah, we also have a top 5 offensive line. I mean, you have, A.J. Brown, whether they get the ball or not.
Henry had 2,000 rushing yards there.
No, I thought you were talking about Saquon in New York. Yeah. I mean,
No. I'm talking about AJ in Tennessee.
Yes.
They found this guy who's a
Right.
100-catch guy. You found this guy, Barkley, who was theoretically kicked out by Joe Schoen. You guys had that conversation, you and John. Well, I kind of understand that, what the Giants did and they wanted to move on. Do you want to rethink that? Would you want to have Saquon Barkley back and keep that guy the way he's playing?
Potentially.
He's on pace for 1,800 yards.
It's unbelievable. It's unbelievable. Because some key takeaways here from the opening segment, and I know we had a little debate about the passing game, and I still, it's good. I mean, we'll get back into it, I'm sure, but Big Sills comparing Quinyon Mitchell to Darrelle Revis. Holy shit!
I forgot I did that. Forget it. Take it back. No,
I don't think you should take it back.
Hey,
Dude,
I'm not.
Dude, he made Terry McLaurin look
I don't take anything back. By the way, I see all you fishes in here and all you.
He made Terry McLaurin look like Jahan Dotson.
Hey, by the way, okay, we'll pay up 2 to 6 tomorrow. Just keep your panties on. We'll be good.
I'm getting DMs right now. Put it on Big Sills. Pull up the crow. Everybody wants you to eat the crow. We'll be doing
tomorrow
it.
Tomorrow will be the crow. Tomorrow
we'll get to a couple super chats here before we get to our break. By the way, for anybody that dropped a super chat, I will not go to bed tonight until I read every single super chat. So I appreciate each and every one of you that support this channel. Big fish, little boat. Bring on those Detroit Kitty Cats. Golf ain't winning in Philly. They better hold that 1 seed. I will echo that sentiment. If we get the 1 seed, we're going.
Do you think you're a better running attack?
If we get the 1 seed,
hold on. You think you're a better running? So you think you're a better running attack than Detroit?
Yes, I think we're a better team.
Really, they're going to have 2 backs over 1,200 yards. You think you're better than
what they have? I'm not afraid of them.
I asked you if you thought you were a better running attack than Detroit.
We just talked about we have the best running back in the freaking league, for crying out loud.
They have 2 1,200-yard backs.
They got a good tandem. I like what they have there.
Your line is just as good as theirs.
They have 2 running backs. I like what I got.
Their old line is rated ahead of yours.
I'm riding with the guys I got in my room, and I like Saquon Barkley up against anybody. I don't give a fuck who it is.
Okay, all right. Angry Zander again. Here we go. Angry Zander.
Big fish, little boat. Appreciate you, brother. Travis checks in. Jalen had over a 115 passer rate in the past 5 games before today. That's better than at any time during his 22 stretch. And by the way, Travis, forget just the last 5 games. The whole season before today's game, I haven't checked the numbers since the game. Obviously, it just ended and I've been on the air. He was 5th in the NFL in passer rating, over 100. So the notion that he hasn't been passing the football well this year is not really true. It's just been lesser attempts. So we'll see. But Travis, good point by you. Appreciate the super chat there, my man. Good stuff. And you dropped another one in here. I'll get them both. This game should have been a blowout. Take away that trash yardage drive and add Elliott Smith's points that historically makes 10 times out of 10. This was a blowout overall. He's right. I mean, if you put those 7 points from Elliott on the board, you're looking at 33, and you take away those garbage time 8, you're looking at a 33-10 ball game.
No, I'm right. There were numerous mishaps in that game.
But you can't play coulda, shoulda, woulda, Travis. I mean, we could do that about any game.
Absolutely.
So no doubt.
It's what it was and how the game played out.
Mahomes' first 3 Super Bowls, he threw under 300 yards. Yes, he did. I mean, his first Super Bowl, Sean Mims, he looked terrible in that game. Mahomes is first. Ask Philly Godfather about his first Super Bowl.
Patrick Mahomes and Jalen Hurts or anybody.
I know. I'm not trying to compare the two.
And I know you're not either, but these idiots in here the guy's 9-0.
JAKIB Nation,
a year and a half.
calling you idiots because the crow is getting cold. I salted it. I put some pepper on it. He's getting ready to eat it, and he's trying to delay it, but he can't delay it. We're getting a win. Dan Sileo, if you want some entertainment, 2 to 6 tomorrow, he'll be singing the Eagles fight song. I might put the crow in the corner of the show and leave it there for the entire 4 hours and make him do his show with a picture of crow right now. I'm thinking about it. I don't know if I want to put him through that yet. Brandon Snyder checks in. This Eagles defense reminded me exactly of the Chiefs defense last year. They struggled early last year and took off at the end of the season. Our young studs are coming along nicely on D, and the old vets are stepping up. I think it's a good point.
It is. It reminds you of what they're doing in Kansas City right now. Hey, would it shock you if they're kind of emulating what they're doing? It's a copycat league. It kind of looks exactly what they're doing. Look what they did. Remember in Kansas City, they drafted 2 young rookie cornerbacks. They got rid of Snead. It's kind of what they're doing in Philadelphia too a little bit here. I mean, so a little bit of copycat. That's nothing wrong with that. You copy success. I mean, it's not a rip.
No doubt. Good stuff there. Dual threat checks in. Our defense, our defense here is good. Q on the outside is so good, you don't even know he's there. For this team to win a Super Bowl this year, Hertz offense has to be a threat, need balance. I would agree. I mean, I think that's.
But and again, I don't think you have a very good passing game. I think it's average. I think it's an average passing game. I think it's an A-plus running game. And I think your defense right now is playing A football. There's no doubt about it. Run defense, pass coverage, second. Dude, I can't tell you how many games is that now, Zander, where the wide receivers are a non-factor? 5, 6? I mean, the receivers have been a non-factor. I can't remember the time a receiver ate that defense up.
Rashid Mixon checks in. Appreciate you, Rashid. He says, what am I missing? Bear with me. Hertz was 18 of 28. He had 3 bad throws right after getting hammered, 2 drop passes and 3 throwaways. He had 2 sacks and 1 was a trick play. I think we're kind of exaggerating here.
You watched a different game, Rashid. And for you to say that, there's no debating you because you're going to watch what you want to watch and what you see. If your eyeballs thought that was a good passing effort by him in the first half of that game and even in the first half against Dallas, you're blinded by something else. And I don't know what that is. But at the end of the day, your passing game is not good enough to win a Super Bowl.
I think our defense and our running game is, though, and that could be the story, and we'll see how that plays out. Let's get to our commercial break. Rashid, I don't see it the same way you do. I appreciate your take, though, and I appreciate your super chat and your continued support of this channel, brother. Good stuff, man. Thank you so much. Thanks to all of our new members, by the way. We got a lot of new members, man. Saquon Barkley got everybody fired up tonight. Corey really got in here. Appreciate you, Corey. Appreciate you, Prime Time, Stephen Joyce, and many others. So we thank you guys. For those who want to become a member to enter the Saquon Barkley jersey giveaway, I pinned the link in the chat. It should be the top comment pinned up there. So you become a member, and I'll do the drawing, and we will give away our fifth Saquon Barkley jersey of the year. So good stuff there. Looking forward to doing that for our great members. And we will talk to John McMullen shortly. He is caught up right now, though. This team is they must be celebrating in the locker room or something because
Zander, they should. It's a big win, man. I mean, remember I said, hey, I'm not dismissing this. This is a big win. It's control of the East. Next step is now staying pace with Detroit. And now you're playing for something bigger, home field advantage. The Philadelphia Eagles in their history have never gone to a Super Bowl when they don't host the home field. In the history of that franchise, this is what you're fighting for now. You're now not just in the – Zander, you kind of separated from the pack of the NFC teams. You and Detroit are here, and there's other teams that are behind. I got to wait and see what San Francisco is going to look like now that McCaffrey's back in that offense, and I want to see what they're going to look like over the next couple of weeks here. But right now, it's clearly Detroit and Philadelphia.
Yeah, no doubt about it. Let's get to our commercial break. Appreciate everybody being here. We'll be back in 3 minutes. By the way, hit that like button, everybody. Can somebody who has it on track, can somebody give me a like count? What are we at right now? I want to get to at least 1,000 likes tonight with all the people watching. A big win, secure on pace to secure the NFC East. Looking good for the Philadelphia Eagles. So hit that like button for us, everybody, and somebody give me a tally on what we're at. We'll be back in 3 minutes on the JAKIB Postgame Show to cover your 8-2 Philadelphia Eagles.
He's blocked well and tries to cut through the middle. Oh!
Your gut says Miami is going to win, and you should take the over. Your gut also said your NFT selfies would only go up in value. They didn't. But your head is on Sports Grid and knows the QB is in concussion protocol. The backup has a 45 QBR against the zone coverage. The New York D has the most sacks in the league. So yeah, Trust your head. It's smarter to be on Sports Grid.
Score and save in Southeastern PA and Delaware with Colony Pools this football season, and let the experts close your pool with a custom Merlin safety cover in green for the birds. And if you join our Winter Watch team, we'll give you another 20% off, and Colony Pools will handle it all. Keep your tiles on your pool, not in your pool. Fly with Colony right now, birds fans. Visit flywithcolony.com.
I get scared sometimes.
Of a lot of things.
Joining in.
Decisions.
The dark.
The dark.
But I once heard someone say,
But as I always say,
it's okay to be afraid.
as long as you face the fear.
And keep moving forward.
Wherever you are in life, count on the name trusted in insurance for over 80 years. Independence Blue Cross.
Hi everybody, my name's Jason Lombardi. I'm an inspector at DryTech. At DryTech we offer three major services. The first one being basement waterproofing. The second service we offer is foundation and structural repairs. And then the third service that we offer is mold remediation. If you feel you are having a waterproofing issue, give DryTech a call or check us out online.
Heading down the shore, have a ball once more.
Here, imaginations run wild and time stands still. Because here, you can find the best of the Jersey Shore, all on one 5-mile island. So leave the old you behind and get lost in the woods.
Wild, wild, wildwood day.
Plan your stay in the Wildwoods today.
EAGLES, Eagles.
Welcome back in, everybody, to the JAKIB Postgame Show. After a Week 11 victory for the Philadelphia Eagles, they moved to 8-2 on the year in what's becoming potentially a special season now in the driver's seat to win first place in the NFC East. They went 26-18 tonight. Jalen Hurts was 18-28 for 221. Saquon Barkley, the highlight again, 26 carries, 146 yards, and 2 touchdowns. Also had 50-plus in the passing game. So a massive performance, nearly 200 all-purpose yards for Saquon Barkley tonight. Big Sills, Eagles are really looking good right now with the way they are moving later into the year here. They're looking better. Here's what I want to pose to you, and I want you to tell me if this is fair. Jayden Daniels was pretty bad tonight.
Yes.
Jalen Hurts wasn't much better, if we're being honest, tonight. The Philadelphia Eagles won because they're a better football team right now. When I look at this Eagles team, I look at a star running back. I look at star wide receivers. I look at a star offensive line. I look at a star defensive coach that has them playing like a star defense. The last remaining piece in that equation would be Jalen Hurts, and we're going to go as far as Jalen Hurts is willing to take us because everything is there around him. The defense is there. The O-line is there. The receivers are there. The running game is there. The coaching is there. Everything is there. Everything is there right now. And in a way, it makes me very optimistic and excited because I think we could have a parade on Broad Street. But it's going to come down to Jalen Hurts. You agree with what I said or no?
You don't have what KC has. The two best coaches, the two best coordinators, and the quarterback. You know what you have? You have one good coordinator, a great coordinator. You have an okay coordinator, and you have a B quarterback. That's not Super Bowl, dude. That's good. There's nothing wrong with being good. Like John said, you win a lot of games. Okay? You're going to win a ton of games. But are you going to win championship games? Are we here talking about a championship, or are we here talking about winning the NFC East or winning the NFC period? That's what I talk about daily. I think sometimes people get clouded by that. And beating the Commanders is part of that journey. People are going like this. Hey, I'm not dismissing it. I give you an overview of what I think this football team and where it is right now. You guys look at 60 minutes, not you, Zander. People look at 60 minutes of football. I look at the entire season in its entirety so far and where you've come from. By the way, here's where you go. The growth of the defense is outstanding. It's outstanding. The growth of the offense is balanced. Personally, I think it's regressed. I don't think it's the same offense even of a year ago. You're a better running attack. Your numbers are skewed by one thing. I
don't want to say we've regressed.
Okay, your passing game is down in the 20s. You're not consistent of a passing team. And if you're going to win last year, Lamar Jackson wasn't consistent in the playoffs, and it cost him. Patrick Mahomes is one of the special guys on the planet that can have 3 interceptions and win a Super Bowl. Your guy can't do that. He can't. He's a B player in an A role and on an A team. He's not horrible. He's good. You said it perfectly, Zander. You said it today on the National Football Show. You know what you said? His highs are really high and his lows are way too low. You can't have that swing on the pendulum. You want to have something in the middle. Look, do I think Jalen Hurts is a good player? Absolutely. Do I think that guy can win a Super Bowl without the talent around him? Absolutely not. He's never carrying a football team. Barkley is anybody in here who says that Jalen Hurts is carrying the football team to a Super Bowl is ridiculous right now. It's Barkley. Name me another football team in the NFL right now that's led by a running back that's going to win a Super Bowl. There isn't one. Your quarterback is going to win you and lead you. Right now, that guy is not the A player in that huddle. The A player is 26. And then you go out on the perimeter, and that guy, A.J. Brown, out there is the other guy who is the star in that team. Hertz is down the line. By the way, I thought the old line, I'll tell you this too, man, somebody that we have to give some credit to here, and that is Cam Jurgens. He is playing really good football for taking over for Jason Kelsey. He's done an exceptional job, man. I'm really a fan of what he's doing.
Yeah, the offensive line has really been good. Look, I agree with what you with I think some of what you said. Where I differ is are the Detroit Lions a Super Bowl contender?
They're my pick to win it. They're my pick to win it.
Is Jared Goff the best player in that huddle?
Jared Goff has done more than Hertz has ever done so far in this league.
Answer the question. Is he the best player in the huddle?
Jared Goff? No.
Not really close.
Jared Goff is a superior quarterback than Jalen Hurts because he's done more. Throw 4,500.
Yeah.
Well, really? He's been to 2 NFC championship games. He's been to a Super Bowl himself. And this guy throws for 30 touchdowns at 4,500 yards.
Well, they're different styles of quarterbacks.
Playoff team last week, and he threw 5 picks, and they still freaking won.
Well, yeah, but they're different style of quarterbacks. So they both have their faults and they both have their positives. If Jalen Hurts can be what we've seen him be so far this year, let's just say it's middle of the pack.
You think Hurts can throw your team out of trouble? I think Goff can because he has. He threw it out of trouble last week.
Yeah, I mean, he can. I will say he struggles when you take away play action.
How about this? He threw 5 picks and threw his team back into a win.
He didn't really throw him back into that game.
Okay. Well, again,
Jameer Gibbs kind of marched him down.
One day you want to give Hertz all the credit for just being a winner. What's this guy doing? He's 8.
I'm not saying he's not a winner. I'm just trying to point out that I believe our team can go the distance without expecting Hertz to be this elite over-the-top passing quarterback.
Do I think Philly can beat Detroit? Yeah.
Oh, I definitely do. Yeah, I definitely do.
Detroit can beat you too.
I haven't seen our defense be this physical in years. I know 22, we had 70 sacks. I don't think they were this physical, though.
I think
we punish players in the secondary.
I don't even think that 17 defense was as physical as what you're seeing right now. I think
they are physical, man.
I'll tell you what, this is one of the better defensive teams probably since Jim Johnson.
I mean, holy shit, I can't even go back that far. But, how about Nakobe Dean too, dude? He lays the body on people. Like, he hits hard. I got to give him some credit. I know he's not, he's got his faults, but he had the one nice play also on Jayden Daniels in the open space tonight. Like I said, defense is damn physical with the running game, with Saquon, with the weapons around Jalen. I look at this team and I say, at what point am I going to acknowledge that what I'm seeing with my own two eyes
getting better? Really good.
Special. I mean, I don't want to get to the end of a special season and say, oh, damn, I didn't acknowledge it until we held the trophy up. I mean, I know you're not supposed to, but I think we're watching something that could be special right now. I really do.
Okay. And I think it's trending that way. I mean, once again, a lot of young guys here. I mean, dude, Jalen Carter, TFL, 7 tackles, an interior defensive tackle, almost with 10 tackles in the ball game. He's a special football player. He is really a special football player, man. I mean, once again, too, Bryce Huff, he got some reps. Felix Hunt got some reps in there. He had a tackle in there, too. I mean, Slay, got to give Slay something in there, too. The cornerbacks really did a nice job in this football game. They shut down that entire wide receiving core of the Washington Commanders tonight.
Yeah, no doubt. Jalen Carter, you brought him up. I mean, what a player he is. He's really coming on. He had not a shaky start to the year, but at the end of the day, he was, going up and down. And now you're just seeing what kind of terror he can be to the interior of an offensive line. When he gets going, man, it's tough. It's tough to run an offense with him in there.
Absolutely. I mean, once again, the young players, Nolan Smith, Quinyon Mitchell. I mean, I give Howie a ton of shit, and you have brought it up this year, man. Remember in 22, I got to remember this. Look at the hits he had. Hassan Reddick, all the free agents he had. Kaiser White was a hit. All the guys that they brought in. This year, it looks like some of the draft guys. It's not the free agents.
Yeah.
Free agents haven't really hit.
Other than Bond.
Yeah, except for Bond.
Yeah.
Okay. But the draft picks are all playing well.
Yes, they are.
They are playing really well.
Is Nolan Smith better than Bryce Huff at this point?
Yes. It looks – well, he's more productive.
Yeah.
I mean –
I think he can do more. Vic puts him out there on the rundowns.
Vic feels more – and by the way, you could tell who Vic plays that he has confidence in. Vic has more confidence in Nolan Smith playing out there and putting him out there than he does with Bryce Huff. Zander, I told everyone at the beginning of the year, this guy played 485 snaps with the Jets. And I said, when you add more reps to that guy, do you really think he's going to have more production? He was a specialized player in New York. And the Eagles have bad judgment on this guy here. There is no question that they missed this guy big time. However, John brings a great point up, and I do this all the time too. I call it checks and balances. Hey, dude, I go back a little bit and go like this. RG3 got hurt. Well, they ended up getting Kirk Cousins in the 5th round. Okay, that kind of balanced that out, and it helped me here. Well, if you miss on Bryce Huff, but you find this guy, Zach Bond, and you find an all-pro guy, I mean, dude, that kind of balances that out, except for the money, obviously. That's a heck of a move there on what they were able to accomplish by finding this guy and developing this guy. And, hey, I don't even really think Vic knew. How many times did Vic say this about Zach Bond? Hey, I didn't know he could play inside, but he's a fast learner, and he's showing he can. What a willingness to learn from your coach. And this is such an indictment, in my opinion, on the Miami Dolphins, saying that coordinator was not good enough down there in Miami last year, and they wanted to move off him. Look how soft that Miami defense is today without Vic Fangio down there. I'll tell you what, the younger guys have really have done a great job and really listened to him, and that's why that defense is getting better.
Yeah, no doubt about it. Let's get to a couple more super chats. I want to get to some of them. We got a bunch of people. John is Let me see if I have any update on John. When John will be in. We're in 10 deep right now. They were way backed up at the Lincoln Financial Field tonight. So we'll see. I'm gonna roll through some super chats that came in early on the show. Prince Swayze, Scary Terry didn't want to come out. Good stuff. Green Curtain, appreciate you, Dak. Always Sunny checked in. Sills couldn't predict rain even if it dropped on his head. Eagles making him wrong another week. Brian Pumper checks in. The kicker and the QB owes the defense their paycheck. Vic Fangio is God.
Amen, Brian.
I mean, I do think Vic Fangio has done an unbelievable job with this defense. Philly Chicago says, be a member today. Thank you, Forrest, stepping up and giving credits to that defense. Jake is a liability. We in the first queue is for real. We are in first. Thank you for becoming a member, Philly to Chicago. You're officially entered into our Saquon Barkley jersey giveaway. Good takeaways there, man. I agree with everything that you said. Blaze checks in. Goff throws 5 picks. You have nothing to say, but Hertz has a bad first half. You got something to say. F out of here, brah.
Hey, Blaze, I just said that he's one of the most accomplished quarterbacks in the NFC and that they have an 8-1 football team and that he's a good player. And if that means that you're butthurt over that, whatever, dude. You can be butthurt over it.
Ben Fly checks in. Sills was right about Barkley being the MVP. Bond is about to get that bag. Q and Cooper are official. Xander, give Sills that crow medium well.
They are not paying Zach Bond the $12, $15 million. No way. No way.
I have a feeling an extension's coming.
Yeah, $15 million playing.
If it doesn't come in the next 3 weeks, then I agree with you. He's going to be too much.
Well, if they keep waiting and he keeps playing how about this? He puts a 15 tackle performance up against the Ravens and the Rams. I don't want to sign a contract in Philly. I'll wait till the end of the year and we'll negotiate.
Sills, how much did his contract go up tonight?
Oh,
$1 million?
He's in the 10. No, $1 million.
$1 million per year.
Oh,
he went from 9 to 10 tonight.
He's in the $10 to $12 million range right now.
I agree. I think that's right there. Here's John. Let me see what John has to say. Here, John's coming up now. So we'll get John McMullen here. Looking forward to talking to John. We'll rip through a couple more super chats. Should be a great segment with John. Looking forward to hear what he has to say about the passing game. Nosty Beast checks in. Dan Quinn this, Jayden Daniels that. Washington just needed a reminder of their place in this division. Sit down. Agreed, Nosty. Agreed, Nosty. Rashid checks in. Sills, if this is that number one defense, Jalen near perfect second half. He did not have a perfect second half. Come on, Rashid. And Barkley is everything. If Jake makes those kicks, we score 33 points. I mean, look, you're right about the other stuff, but Jalen didn't have a perfect
second. Man. Dude, people really want and really love Hertz. And Rashid, I appreciate your passion for your guy, but don't lie about him.
Jason A-Team, appreciate it, man. That's how you do it, baby. Barkley is MVP, in my opinion. Nolan Smith with the sack of the game. That was a huge sack on third down. You're correct, A-Team. Love our birds. McLaurin, non-factor. Really thought we were going to lose. Proud of our boys, Eagles. Love it, Jason, man. Thank you for your support of the channel, as always. Jason's one of our JAKIB Legend members, so we appreciate him and his support of this channel for sure. Michael Robinson says, before the game, you praised Dan Quinn's defensive prowess. He calls a good game.
Down the Eagles he totally, hey, dude, if you think your offense was outstanding today, Dan Quinn kept them in that game and the coaching kept them in that game. They're a lesser football team than the Eagles. If you didn't see good coaching on that side of the ball, you don't understand what good coaching is then. Jesus Christ, are you trying to tell me you don't think the only time in that game that sucked was on that fourth down series where they went for it on fourth down. I don't know what they were trying to accomplish. They should have kicked a field goal because they turned the ball over, and that's what started the downfall for the Washington Commanders in that game. If you don't see good coaching, you will never see good coaching.
Khaled says, we're turning the clock 20 years. Can the Eagles win the Super Bowl running and playing defense? Big Sills. That was our debate. I mean, I wish I brought the super chat up during the debate. It's interesting. I think both have a good point where it's like, yeah, the modern game, I mean, you got to be able to pass the football, but boy, I watch that defense terrorize teams every week now, and I watch Saquon Barkley run over teams like they're not even freaking out there. I mean, I wonder what this team can be late in the year. We will see how it all plays out, Khaled. Thank you, brother, for the super chat. Let me get to any other of the big super chats that we got in here. I think I got that one. All right, good stuff there. So thanks, everybody, for all the super chats, and thanks to our new members. John Wick comes in. I will get up more super chats as well as we get later on in the show. I know many of you are putting them in there. We have over 100 of them, so it's very hard to read through them all on the post-game show. Sills, any other things that stuck out to you in this game? We have John McMullen in the groomer, so we'll get to him actually. But anything before I go to John?
Again, I heard John at the halftime. You're just not going to win championship football games with inconsistent play in the passing game like that. That football team is clearly a running attack team. And the takeaway you take from this ball game is that defense is where I thought it wouldn't be this year. Those young players are playing great, exceptional effort that they had playing tonight. But there's no doubt that football team doesn't run through the quarterback. That football team runs through 26. That's who that guy is.
Let's bring up the man, the myth, the legend. Number one Eagles beat reporter in town is John McMullen. He joins us now from the Lincoln Financial Field. Johnny Mac, welcome to the show, my friend. What'd you make of that Eagles game? They moved to 8-2 on the year, and they are officially in the driver's seat for first place in the NFC East, John.
Yeah, pretty impressive performance defensively. Number one, I mean, before I can even get to the offense, and the offense, obviously, it's been a lot of the same story. I heard Dan talking about, look, early, not good. They had a little bit of juice early in the game, 2 first downs. Then they get the sack and they're behind the sticks again. All year they've been doing that. And then, I'm going to disagree with Dan in one aspect. It's not the quarterback. It's not 26. It's the offensive line. And that's what Nick Sirianni said. I mean, that group
is great.
I mean, if you think about Kenny Gainwell coming in, and he had a run, there was a 3-play stretch, 14, 13, 7, just bang, bang, bang. And it was kind of muddy the entire game, the running game. And all of a sudden it's like a dam that burst open, where they just, pushed and wore Washington down, and it just fell apart for the Commanders defensively. And Saquon was great, don't get me wrong, but man, Nick gives the offensive line, everybody on the offensive line, a game ball when they pass 200 yards rushing. No team has done that. They got a lot of game balls. Lane Johnson, Jordan Mailata, Jason Kelsey, obviously not here. Cam Jurgens picking up the slack. He had a great block on the second level. That offensive line, when Jordan Mailata is in there like he was today, it's right there. You could argue Detroit, but it's right there with the best in football. And I know when we talk about the draft every year and we talk about the Eagles might draft an offensive lineman and everybody gets upset. You shouldn't be upset, because I get it. Everybody loves skill position people, but it's the offensive line.
John, the point of attack, I mean, blowing guys off the football like that, there's no question. And then when you think about it now, this is the 3rd straight year with 3 different players over 1,000 yards. So that validates your point even more so, is that it really doesn't even matter who's back there running the ball. It could be Gainwell. It could be anybody. Kenny Gainwell probably could gain 1,300 yards behind that offensive line, because he, like you said, was a force. I mean, it really does come down to Jeff Stoutland and that group, man. It's the best group in the National Football League next to the Lions. And that's why the 2 teams right now, John, are probably the best teams in the NFC, is because of the 2 things that you just talked about, offensive line. Detroit's got 2 guys, John, that are potentially going to go over 1,200 yards rushing this year because of that O-line, and that's why they're 8-1.
Yeah, and I don't want to dismiss Saquon Barkley, because, I think if you look at, he had those 2 touchdown runs in 20 seconds of game time. So that's when it all ended. And when you look at the 23-yard touchdown, just massive hole. But, like, when that hole opens, he's gone. He's gone. Like, in years prior, Miles Sanders might get 15, 16 yards. DeAndre Swift might get 13 or 14. He's gone. So that's the difference. And then on the 30 whatever yard touchdown, same thing. Massive hole, but then he's gone. So Saquon deserves a ton of credit. Don't get me wrong. He's been unbelievable. I set his number way too low. I feel sorry for Zander. He's got to give away a jersey every week. He's been unbelievable. But you look at him with New York and you look at him here.
Different people, John.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, it's the offensive line. It's unbelievable.
He's just a different dude. I mean, I can't. If you're John Mara, man, you're watching that, you're like, what didn't I do to build a team around that guy? You give him an O-line, because you're telling me that guy, and I said it before to you, John, and I'll say it again, that guy started his career in Philly. He'd be Adrian Peterson. I mean, that's the kind of
maybe
it looks like right now. By the way, him in the passing game tonight too, going up the middle of the seam and on the hash marks, God dang it, man. He is a really good football player. And I mentioned this to you too, John. John, take the quarterbacks out of the conversation in the NFL. Can you name another player in the league that's having a better year than him? Maybe Derrick Henry and him would battle that out. I mean,
yeah. Well, offensively, I mean, you got like defensive players, and Zach Bond. Zach Bond. It's like, he had one little hiccup on the scoring drive for Washington. He didn't do a good job on Austin Eckler. Had him, didn't tackle him. But that fourth down stop, it's 12-10 in the game. A lot of people would have said, I'm sure Dan Quinn's going to say, take the points. I'm sure he's going to hear that. But he knows his defense is leaking oil better than anybody. He knows he's got to go and score to try to win that football game. And they got a 4th and 1 or 2, I forget what it was. And Jayden Daniels bobbled the snap, so that screwed things up. But it looked, I don't know how it looked on TV, but from up top, it looked like he had an angle where he was going to get that first down. And all of a sudden, here comes Zach Bond like a missile. And he just stopped him. I mean, in his tracks.
I tell people the angle, when you got a guy that's running forward and you got another guy in a pursuit angle, the guy in the pursuit angle has a deficiency because the other guy's running straight ahead, and he blew him backwards 3 yards.
Yeah.
I mean, he hit him like a missile. I'm like, that was one of the plays of the game, because right there, the momentum.
I argue that was the play of the game, because if they get that first down, maybe they score a touchdown. They're certainly going to kick a field goal. I guess you can't say certainly in the Jake Elliott game where he missed 3 kicks, but they're probably going to kick a field goal at the bare minimum, and they're up 13-12. Now, I still think the Eagles would have went down the field, because you could feel the Washington defense sort of, the buttressing of that deep. It was falling. You could feel it. Sometimes, Dan, this. Sometimes you could feel defense is just worn out.
Yep.
And that was the feel I got about the Washington defense. But Washington was going to take the lead in that game. Just a matter of, was it going to be 13-12 or 18-12, 17-12? They were going to take the lead in that game if Zach Bond doesn't make the play. And then the Eagles get the football. That's like a sudden change, almost like a turnover. And I think it was 3-4 plays later, Saquon's first touchdown. They had the big play to Dallas Goedert where he fumbled, and Grant Calcaterra hustled to get that. And then Saquon kind of put the game away. But I think the play of the game was Zach Bond on that 4th down stop.
Absolutely.
Yeah, it arguably was. Johnny Mac, what about Quinyon Mitchell, man? I mean, we talked about Terry McLaurin. It was like he wasn't even out there tonight. Quinyon Mitchell, another tremendous performance.
They didn't throw to, 2 things about it. And Jayden Daniels did not play well. 2 things.
No, he did not.
Jalen Carter lit him up early. And I think he was thinking about that the rest of the game. I really do. And the second part is, I was talking to CJ after the game, CJ Gardner-Johnson, and their whole plan, and this is CJ, so blame CJ, not me, was to make him play quarterback, keep him in the pocket, make him play quarterback. And they did it, and he didn't do it well. And I think a lot of it had to do with, back in the old days, Dan can attest to this, but they tell you, go hit the quarterback early. I don't care if you get a penalty. Make him feel it, make him think about it early, and maybe you get him off his game. I think that happened to Jayden Daniels today.
How about this too, John? On draft day, I said, I see all the potential in the world. That reminds me of Jerome. I played 2 years next to Jerome Brown. Man, his hands, his disruptive side, pulling guards off, hitting the quarterback, his quick first step. It reminds me so much of Jerome. And, man, I'm telling you, I know the guy in New York is the best interior tackle nose in the league, Dexter Lawrence. But, boy, this guy's coming. This kid's coming, man. He's a really good-looking player.
Yeah, he's tremendously gifted. I still look at Chicago and say, they passed that guy twice. I get it. If you don't want to take him number 1 overall, because a lot of teams didn't because of the off-the-field stuff, but to trade down and he's still there and you say, nah, we don't want him again. That's why Chicago's Chicago.
That's why Chicago's Chicago right now. Yeah. That's correct.
But he is tremendously gifted, and now he's playing a lot. He's increased his conditioning to where he can play a lot. And look, you mentioned that defense. When I should say, when I was talking about the offense, to me, it's not about the quarterback. It's not about 26. It's not even about their best football player, which I still think is A.J. Brown. It's not about any of them. It's about the offensive line. But this team specifically, the defense is better than the offense.
Yeah. And there's no doubt. John, you said something in the pregame show, and I think you said it also on Birds 365, which, by the way, guys, don't forget to join tomorrow. Did you feel a little conservative play calling and decision making? Did you feel a little bit of that when they weren't going for it on fourth? It just seemed to me again that they knew it was a big game, an NFC East game. I mean, did you feel that, John, there, or did you? Am I overblowing that? Because I thought it's just some of the decision making in the game. I thought they kind of were out of character a little bit in the first.
They were a little longer, those Sills. Like the one was like a 4th and 6, I think. Or
the first Elliott miss. I'm just looking them up. That's why. Yeah, I didn't. The first Elliott miss was on 4th and 13. So I mean, you're not going for it there, right? And then the second one, which was the 51-yarder, I don't remember, but it wasn't close. No good.
But John, they were in like territory. They were in Washington's territory, and they had a couple 3rd and 3s, 3rd and 2s, and like instead of going for it like on the 45, which they traditionally have been doing, they punted. And I will say that maybe I'm overblowing that. I don't know. I just see
I didn't get a set. I'm trying to look. They had a 3rd and 4, but that was from their own 32. They're not doing that. 4th and 4. I'm trying to find the Elliott. They were 4th and 3 from the Washington 3. Now there's one. 4th and 3 from the 3. 15 play, 87-yard drive. They settled for a chip shot field goal. There's one. If they're playing better, they might go for that.
Yeah. Okay. John, I'm going to ask you about the offense now. Obviously, the defense has been impressive. Saquon Barkley is another massive day. I said at the start of the show, John, I'm excited about the win. I think the team's in the driver's seat to get to first place. I think if they win out, they could potentially not win out, but if they handle their business, I think they could potentially have the playoffs come through Philadelphia. But nothing about what I saw tonight made me feel better about the passing game. Would you agree with that, or what would be your take on where they are as a passing team?
Not good. That's my only concern, really, with this team right now. I mean, not good. And Jalen Hurts had he was evaluated for concussion. I'm shocked they didn't do it right away. He took a
face
hit
plant.
His helmet hit the turf, and typically they're going to, whether it's the independent spotter or the officials on the field, they're going to say, all right, you got to get checked out.
I think that was the spotter's call, John, because they took him right off and the ref stopped it and got him out of there. And I think that was a spotter from the booth.
Well, I thought they would have done it right away. They didn't do it right away. They checked him right before halftime, after the drive was done, is when they checked him. And he passed, he cleared, but he didn't look right to me with that. But before that, even before that, he's late. I mean, there's a play early in the game with Devontae Smith right in front of us. You can't talk about because there is a lot. I think people, when you talk about each individual play and you have a progression, and people talk about guys on the other side of the field, I never criticize the quarterback. They don't understand. I say it all the time. You're not an owl. You got a progression on this side of the field. You're not. That's one of the reasons why guys on the other side of the defense knows that too, where the progression is. So they kind of ease off. And I think a lot of fans don't understand that. But this was right in front of his field of vision crossing pattern. Looked like it was designed to go to Devontae Smith. He was wide open. He didn't pull the trigger. This is consistent. Consistent.
Sacks too, John.
Yeah. So many of the sacks, are covered sacks, are holding on to the football too long.
Sacks, John, in 2 weeks now. Late throws, inconsistent play. I mean, I'm telling you, and I tell people this, look, no question about it. You and me are looking at the macro of the team, John. We're not looking at the micro. We're looking at what this team could be. And for them to be a Super Bowl championship contending team, that guy can't have peaks and valleys like this. He can't look 1 week like this guy's Nate Sudfeld, and then all of a sudden the next series, this guy looks like Lamar Jackson. He just can't. It can't be that pitches and swings and late balls because, John, you're not going to play rookie quarterbacks in the postseason. You're going to be going against really good players, really good coaching, and really good hot rhythm players when you get into the postseason. And if you play inconsistent like that, you're going to get bounced.
No, yeah. And, today was a perfect example. I mean, this game was ugly for a large portion. You're losing 7-3 at halftime. You're losing 10-6 at the end of the third quarter. At the end of the third quarter, it was 10-6, Washington. Washington got I remember talking at halftime to Zander. It's like if they scored, they got the football in the second half. If they scored a touchdown, they got a field goal. But if they scored a touchdown and make it 14-3 instead of 10-3, that completely changes the game. And then all of a sudden, it's an uphill battle. You can't stay as disciplined with the running game. You got to try to get some plays down the field. You got to try to get back in the game, 2-score game. He makes plays, but boy, there's a lot left on the bone.
Oh yeah, great.
John, can they win with this, or is this such a big concern for you that
winning? They're 8-2? I mean,
I know, but they're winning now. Can they win when it matters the most?
Can they win a Super Bowl playing like this? I don't think so.
Even with this defense playing like they are, with Saquon playing like he is?
I don't think so.
No way. Your
Just a
quarterback is gonna have to make plays in the postseason for you to win. And he's gonna have to not make mistakes that are so blatant. By the way, you know, Xander, what John and I are talking about is the easy throw. I mean, the simple throws, like when Greg Cosell says he struggles at seeing the simple and the easy throws that are wide open. John's talking about a guy that's wide open. Do you not understand? In the NFL, there are portholes openings when you're trying to throw a ball. In college, they're as big as a barn door. In the NFL, they're like portholes on a ship. You've got to get those through there. He misses these looks every game. There's at least 6 missed throws and late throws every football game that this Eagle team that game should have been in the 30s. Like John predicted early, 30-35. Now, look, Elliott helped out a little bit there. That's on him with player performance. There you go, John. But again, seven missed throws at least in that ball game. Hey, man, I'll tell you again, like I said, Saquon Barkley and that O-line, they took control of the football game, and in the third and fourth quarter, Washington had nothing left, man, because they wore them out. It was like a prize fight, and you're in the fight with Mike Tyson, and he's pummeled you to death. That's what happened in that fight.
Yeah. And, you know, early in the game, I mean, they outplayed them in the first half. But because of leaving stuff on the field, because of the missed field goals, certainly contributed to it. But, this should have been a much easier game to the point you're, you know, I think people look, the fourth quarter is exciting and 2 touchdowns in 20 seconds and, you know, Saquon going off, and that's going to give everybody a good feeling. But, you know, I'm concerned about the Devontae is a little banged up. I saw Devontae. He's limping around. I'm surprised he's even playing. I'm surprised the Eagles are playing him. He's been dealing with this hamstring for 2 weeks, and that's an injury that if you play on it, it can get worse. So I'm a little surprised they're even letting him play on it right now. But, you know, we have A.J. Brown, Devontae Smith, Dallas Goedert, and now you've seen Grant Calcaterra raise up and make some plays at times. And you've seen Jahan Dotson make circus catches and back shoulder catches and do at least a little bit to where you say he's better than Quez Watkins or somebody like that. And you can't throw the ball consistently? That's a concern to me. Because you're never going to have a better supporting cast. There's a couple teams with similar supporting casts. And, you know,
it's the greatest collection of offensive talent, skilled-wise, in Eagle history.
Agreed.
Oh, yeah.
There is no way in the history of that franchise, going back, whatever, that I've ever seen that amount of talent around them. And you cannot afford to miss that window right now, because you'll look at this right now, John. That football team doesn't win a Super Bowl over the next 6 years with the talent you have in that huddle. It'll be one of the most disappointing eras in the history of Philadelphia Eagle football. If that thing doesn't.
It's tough. I mean, look, the expectations are high. I always kill people. Nick Sirianni, by the way, 42-19, whatever the hell he is now. It's ridiculous. You know, how many games they've won since turning the corner in 2021. You know, they win. You had the one hiccup last year and the collapse, and now they're right back to winning. They've won 6 straight games. They've shut down Joe Burrow and Jamar Chase. They've shut down Jayden Daniels. Couldn't get the football to Terry McLaurin at all. You know, they have this defense out of nowhere. I mean,
hey, John,
I don't know anybody.
John, when's the last time that defense gave up 300 yards in offense? I mean, I can't remember the team that put up
since Tampa.
Since Tampa, right?
Yeah.
What a
Their
run.
high water mark since the break, since the early bye. So this 6-game winning streak is 280 yards they gave up to Cincinnati, 280. And tonight they gave up 264, and a lot of that was garbage time at the end of the game on that last drive for Washington. 280 is their high water mark. Everything about this team screams championship except the passing game. Everything about it screams championship, championship level football except the passing.
Is that a nice way of saying Jalen Hurts, though?
And by the way, who would have predicted that? Which shows you how crazy the game of football is. Is it Jalen Hurts?
Like I said, though, John, is that on like you say, passing game? And I get it, I agree. But many could take.
No, I think it's John's player performance.
Wide receivers. Is it Jalen Hurts?
Zander. This goes to what John says. This is player execution. Which
is on Jalen.
That's on That's player execution. I mean, I tell people all the time, John. That's like blaming Bryce Harper for having a batting slump. You're blaming the hitting instructor for not having that guy in the right position to be able to hit the ball. That's player production, dude. I mean, you've got to hit those wide open throws, man. And by the way, one of the reasons why they've tailored back the passing game, and John's concerned about it just getting away a little bit from the passing game and being more of a running attack team, because he knows you got to win that way in the postseason. And the reason they're tailoring it back, they're limiting the turnover opportunities with high turnover plays, and they're giving the number one thing on that team the benefit of the doubt. That's the O-line. Okay, the best grouping on that team is the O-line. John's right. That as great as Devontae and AJ are, the whole line is superior. That's by far the best. That's one of the best groupings I've ever seen. I mean, you can go back to the Dallas Cowboy teams of the 90s, how good that offensive line is. You're running the ball at a 200-yard clip. Like, John, that game in 2 weeks with Baltimore, between those two running attacks, I don't know who's going to kill who more in that game. That's going to be a body bag game. That's a body bag game and a double mouthpiece game.
John, I got one last one for you, brother, before we let you go. Thank you for checking in. Great work tonight covering the football game. Make sure everybody goes and follows John on Twitter at JF McMullen. Great to follow as he's down at the game, and you can see his feed during the game. John, did we learn the real reason of why Nick Sirianni isn't kicking this year? Jake Elliott, John, what the hell happened to this guy?
Yeah, well, I'll tell you what, man. Jake is a stand-up guy. He said he stood up there and answered every question. Called his performance pathetic. This is a guy who made 32 of 34 field goals last season. He missed 2 in the first half, and he missed a extra point later. He's not himself. I've heard a lot of theories. He had one bad season before, and he bounced back. He just said he trusts his process. He believes in it. It's always strange to me because I always tell the story. Jake Elliott is great at everything. He's a great golfer. He's a great ping pong player. He beats everybody at everything that he does. Softball, he goes out there in Carson Wentz's old softball game, Devontae Smith's softball game. He wins home run derbies. He's unbelievable. Anything that involves hand-eye coordination. So when I see him miss field goals, it's weird. But he stood up and he said, pathetic. And, but there's tremendous trust with him. You never know. The NFL stays, it's not static. I say all the time, because you were an all-pro doesn't mean you're going to be an all-pro in perpetuity. Everybody slips. I can't explain it. I don't think anybody can explain it. But, it wasn't a good night, to say the least, for Jake Elliott.
Good stuff, Johnny Mac. Thanks for checking in, brother. Any other final takeaways? We'll talk to you in the morning on Birds 365, but any other final takeaways on this game? Birds in the driver's seat now to get that first seed.
Yeah, well, I don't know about the first seed, but
well, yeah,
for the NFC East.
Yeah, NFC East.
But yeah, they're right there on Detroit's heels now. I mean, Detroit almost lost the game last week, so they have to keep winning. And remember, Detroit's got a much tougher division because they still have to play Minnesota again. They got to play Green Bay. Have they played Green Bay once?
I mean, they got to play both. They got to play Minnesota and Green Bay.
Yeah, so there's some opportunities for them to lose games, and if the Eagles keep going, a couple of weeks, the Rams.
They got the Bills in there too, John.
Yeah. Carolina's coming here December 8th. I mean, the Eagles are going to boat race that team. So if they can get through Los Angeles and Baltimore, you can start talking about legit number one seed, and nobody's going to want to come here in January. I'll tell you that.
Yeah. No doubt about it. Johnny Mac, great stuff, man. Thank you for checking in. We will talk to you in the morning on Birds 365, right, brother?
All right. Thanks, guys.
Thanks, John.
Great stuff from Johnny Mac. Sills, any final thoughts from you before I let you go, brother? I know you're crying already about Corona.
I'm not crying about nothing here except this. It was great to hear John say it exactly because he knows in the postseason here, man. Now, look, again, this is an important win. You can't dismiss it. You just cannot dismiss what that game means tonight here for them being able to go on, Zander, and take control of the NFC East. Now your next step, obviously, like you guys were talking just now, is to go out and get home field advantage throughout the playoffs here on the NFC side. So they took care of great things. However, if you want to talk about a championship football team, you're right, man. Championship O-line, championship running back, championship defense. You don't have a championship quarterback.
Can they overcome that with the other things they have?
Maybe. They did in 22, and they were inches away from winning it. Okay?
Yeah, but to be fair to that year, Jalen was a championship quarterback that year. He was. Wasn't he?
Yes, but he's not now.
I'm agreeing with you.
I know what you're saying.
All right, so it's good stuff, brother. We'll see you tomorrow on the National Football Show.
Actually, it's going to be the National Crow Show tomorrow, so be prepared for that, 2 to 6.
Song, so.
However, I have some special dinner that I'm going to serve up too. John McMullen gave me a nice topic for tomorrow, be prepared because guess why, folks? You do not have something that you need to win that famous Lombardi trophy. We will see you tomorrow, 2 to 6 National Football Show.
Sills, appreciate it, brother. Love you, man. You do a great job, and you know that.
Thank you all for coming aboard. Appreciate it.
Thank you, man. Good stuff from Big Sills, man. All right, man. Time for the post-game show. Your boy is tired, so if you're going to join, I got to get up at 8. Let's do this. Let's have a good show. I do want to read a couple super chats because I'm getting all of them, as I mentioned, and I want to thank our new members, man. This is maybe the most. We've gotten 16 new members since the show started. It maybe is our most new members ever in one show. So thank you guys for joining. You're all officially entered in to the Saquon Barkley jersey giveaway. Nick Not Home, Jason Hampton, Jarrett Ortega, Corey Littles, John Wick. Got John Wick here. Riding the Bench Eagle Podcast. Corey becomes a member. Primetime Stephen Joyce. I like that name. Little primetime action there. Tim Hoffman, M. Escobar, Sig Lord, Alicia. I don't know how to say that. Alicia Champion, Old Eagle fan, Dak Prescott. I like that name. It's funny. Polska Trucker. Appreciate you, Polska. Great supporter of ours. Eric Holland, Philly to Chicago, and Broad. So big thanks to all of you guys for the support of the channel today. We're going to get our post-game show where you guys will have the chance to join. And like I said, I do have the show at 8 a.m. Already 1 o'clock here on the Eastern time. So don't worry, I won't leave you hanging. But if you're going to join, keep it short, sweet. LJ, I want you up. LJ, I want you up. I will give you the link. I'm looking forward to you joining the show if you're willing to do it, brother. It'd be great to talk to you. I do respect your ability to troll. So we had C24 on, but C24 has been axed because he won't show his face, and he's continuing to not chirp sills on things of merit, but attack the channel. So I'm just like, look, I don't want to invest all my money and my life and my savings and everything in this channel for you to sit here and be a jerk off. But LJ, I'd love to get you on, man. Let's get to our commercial break. When I come back from the commercial break, I'll drop the link for you guys to join. Actually, I'll just drop it right now. So if you're in there, join up. Here's the link now. There you go. There's the link to join the show. I'm going to take a commercial break, and we will be back in 3 minutes on the JAKIB Postgame Show here on JAKIB Sports. Birds moving in, man. 8-2. They're in control of the NFC East. Looking forward to do that. We'll be back in 3 minutes, everybody.
He's blocked well and tries to cut through the middle. Oh!
Your gut says Miami is going to win, and you should take the over. Your gut also said your NFT selfies would only go up in value. They didn't. But your head is on Sports Grid and knows the QB is in concussion protocol. The backup has a 45 QBR against the zone coverage. The New York D has the most sacks in the league. So yeah, trust your head. It's smarter to be on Sports Grid.
Score and save in Southeastern PA and Delaware with Colony Pools this football season, and let the experts close your pool with a custom Merlin safety cover in green for the birds. And if you join our Winter Watch team, we'll give you another 20% off, and Colony Pools will handle it all. Keep your tiles on your pool, not in your pool. Fly with Colony right now, birds fans. Visit flywithcolony.com.
I get scared sometimes.
Of a lot of things.
Joining in.
Decisions.
The dark.
The dark.
But I once heard someone say,
But as I always say,
it's okay to be afraid.
as long as you face the fear.
And keep moving forward.
Wherever you are in life, count on the name trusted in insurance for over 80 years. Independence Blue Cross.
Hi everybody, my name's Jason Lombardi. I'm an inspector at DryTech. At DryTech we offer three major services, the first one being basement waterproofing. The second service we offer is foundation and structural repairs. And then the third service that we offer is mold remediation. If you feel you are having a waterproofing issue, give DryTech a call or check us out online.
Heading down the shore. Have a ball once more.
Here, imaginations run wild and time stands still. Because here, you can find the best of the Jersey Shore, all on one 5-mile island. So leave the old you behind and get lost in the woods.
Wild, wild, wildwood day.
Plan your stay in the Wildwoods today.
EAGLES. Eagles.
He's blocked well and tries to cut through the middle. Oh!
Your gut says Miami is going to win, and you should take the over. Your gut also said your NFT selfies would only go up in value. They didn't. But your head is on Sports Grid and knows the QB is in concussion protocol. The backup has a 45 QBR against the zone coverage. The New York D has the most sacks in the league. So yeah, trust your head. It's smarter to be on Sports Grid.
Score and save at Southeastern PA and Delaware with Colony Pools this football season, and let the experts close your pool with a custom Merlin safety cover in green for the birds. And if you join our Winter Watch team, we'll give you another 20% off, and Colony Pools will handle it all. Keep your tiles on your pool, not in your pool. Fly with Colony right now, birds fans. Visit flywithcolony.com.
I get scared sometimes.
Of a lot of things.
Joining in.
Decisions.
The dark.
The dark.
But I once heard someone say,
But as I always say,
it's okay to be afraid.
as long as you face the fear.
And keep moving forward.
Wherever you are in life, count on the name trusted in insurance for over 80 years. Independence Blue Cross.
Hi everybody, my name's Jason Lombardi. I'm an inspector at DryTech. At DryTech we offer three major services, the first one being basement waterproofing. The second service we offer is foundation and structural repairs. And then the third service that we offer is mold remediation. If you feel you are having a waterproofing issue, give DryTech a call or check us out online.
Heading down the shore. Have a ball once more.
Here, imaginations run wild and time stands still. Because here, you can find the best of the Jersey Shore, all on one 5-mile island. So leave the old you behind and get lost in the woods.
Wild, wild, wildwood.
Plan your stay in the Wildwoods today.
EAGLES. Eagles.
Welcome back in, everybody, to the JAKIB Postgame Show. Philadelphia Eagles get the win tonight. 8-2 on the year and officially in the driver's seat to win the NFC East. And I think they could have a chance to end up getting the number one seed in the NFC, depending on what happens with the Detroit Lions. So great show tonight. Birds got a win. Saquon Barkley ran all over this team. The defense, I mean, holy shit. Did we expect this from the defense? I don't know. I didn't. I expected them to be good, maybe middle of the pack, maybe top half, number 2, number 3, number 1 ranked defense in the league. No, I did not see that coming. So good stuff from the defense. I want to read a few super chats here before I get to the great people. I got a bunch in the waiting room. I will get to you guys in a little bit. Appreciate it. And if you guys could just try and keep it a little quick tonight, just because I got Birds through 65 in about 6 hours, and I got about 2 more hours worth of work to do tonight. I'm not complaining about it, but I got to be realistic on what I'm able to do tonight. So good stuff. Thanks, everybody. Travis Parrish checks in. They have 434 yards of offense. Should have been 33-18. First half was bad, but what more do you want out of this offense with those stats? I want a good passing game, Travis. I think that's fair to ask for when you have $50+ million in receivers. You have a $50+ million quarterback. I get it. I'm not complaining, but if you don't think that's fair to talk about that or discuss that on a 2-hour show after the game, I think you got another thing coming, brother. Blaze checks in. Now Jayden Daniels is a rookie. All I hear is excuses. You say we're running a football team like it's a bad thing. He didn't throw 5 picks. All right, Blaze, I see you. Old Eagle fan. Been watching since the Jody Mack day and somehow wasn't a member. Finally a member. Jalen had to be a bit concussed, right? 2 blows to the head. Old Eagle fan. I'm with you completely. And by the way, thanks for being a supporter for that long. But I don't know. Like I said, I'm not going to use it as the tell-all as to why Jalen didn't have a great game tonight. But those 2 hits, man, they were nasty hits. You know, that trick play, he got tossed and just whapped that head back, man. That was a nasty hit. And then the one where the guy came from behind him, kind of drilled his helmet into the ground. You could see they showed Jalen later in the game, and he still had grass in his helmet. I'm like, can you get an equipment manager to clear that grass out of his damn helmet? But you could see it's still in there. So that was a nasty hit too. Might have been concussed, but he's a warrior, man. He went back out there. Deep Fried checks in. Well, it's hard for Jalen to pass concussion protocol with an 18 on the Wonder Lick. I'm not buying that. Alicia says, can we discuss the need to involve Shipley? I worry Barkley will be out of gas by the playoffs and Gainwell isn't enough. Gainwell ran the ball well tonight. Only 4 carries, though. And I do understand where you're coming from with the Saquon Barkley stuff. Finesse TV says, we nitpick everything negative he does. He did good things as well. Every critique doesn't have to be negative. Would you rather have Carson back? No, I wouldn't rather have Carson back. But you got to analyze the game, Finesse. That doesn't mean you just, I come on here for 2 hours and say, okay, we won on Thursday night. We're 8-2. I hope everybody has a good night. It's not that easy, Finesse. I hear you though, brother. Dual threat. Hertz isn't dual threat. He's a running threat. Happy that we won. Awesome to watch defense again in Philly. But for us to win, we need Jalen to improve. Yeah, I mean, I hear you. Part of me does wonder though, with this defense, if this defense can be like this consistently, boy, we're gonna be a tough team to beat, whether Jalen steps up or not. But I do agree he's got to be better. Rashid said this man got sacked 2 times for hell's sake, 18-28 with 3 drops and 3 horrible passes. All the negativity for what? Rashid, you're leaving out a lot of context, dude. I mean, it's not just about the 10 incompletions. It's not just about the 2 sacks. It's about missing receivers in the passing game. I mean, he had 2 clear touchdowns, one to Dallas Goedert, one to Devontae Smith. You gotta find those. They're right in front of him. You can critique the quarterback without being a hater, Rashid. I think some people have a hard time understanding that. Polska says, Jalen Carter was just a wrecking ball. And how about I called the jersey giveaway? How you doing? Good stuff, Polska. You did earlier on the show. A couple more supers, then I'll get to the great people for the post-game show. Blaze says, they not beating Lamar. When have Lamar took his team to the Super Bowl? Oh, okay. You just hate Jalen. You didn't name one thing Jalen did good. Okay, Blaze. I think you maybe need to go and get a cup of milk, buddy. Deep Fried says, I hate Thursday night divisional games. Stupid shit happens. Yeah, that game was a Thursday night game, man. A lot of ugly in that game. Chuck says, if Kellen Moore was calling the plays, he deserves credit. He called the right plays at the right time. Yeah, I had no issue with Kellen Moore tonight. A couple more I'll read. Joe High, Ray Rice with Baltimore and top 5 D wins Super Bowl. Also an aged and broken down Peyton Manning wins with top 5 defense with Denver. Yeah, I mentioned that, the Denver one. But, Joe, we are moving into a new era of football, and I wonder how much that will change or evolve away from that. But I do appreciate the point. I will finish up on the rest of the Super Chats after I get the great people on. So let's do it. Akbar, coming to you first, brother. Here I come, man. Akbar, what's going on, my man? How you doing on this Friday morning now?
I'm good, man. Xander, man, my motherfucking dog. What's up with you, man?
You look good, man. I like that sweatshirt, that Eagle sweatshirt. It's real dope.
Thanks, man. That's what's up.
What'd you think of the game tonight, brother?
All right, I got some takes. You slow me down when you want to elaborate on something.
All right, cool.
My first joint, the Sills killed it on a huff take from the door. He nailed it like soon as it happened. He was on point with that shit. Jalen is average, but Phil Simms and Eli Manning won the Super Bowl. Like Eli Manning won, he beat the GOAT twice. You know what I mean? So I got also.
It's a different era though, Akbar. Like, are we moving into that new era of football where passing is so dominant? I'm not saying I don't agree with you. I'm just asking the question for your opinion.
Football is football, man.
Like, that's true, man.
Like defenses and running games have won Super Bowls forever. Like forever, ever. Like I just said, Eli Manning, he had I forget what running back he had. I want to say OJ Anderson, but I think that was bum ass Phil Simms.
Eli had the big dude, didn't he? What was that dude's name? After Tiki Barber, was it Brandon something? I can't remember who Eli had.
I can't remember him either. But I got I want to say Kirk Herbstreit called an awesome game too. I like the way he called that game.
Kirk is really good, man. I know him well from college. He does a really nice job. Yeah, he calls a lot of college football. He's known for college football. His NFL.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Yeah, so his NFL stuff has been more recent. But he's done a really nice job with it. I give him a lot of credit. I agree with you. What do you think of the defense, though, dude? I mean, you think they can sustain this?
Our defense is the number 1 defense in the whole fucking league. Like real shit.
You might be right. Yeah.
We was number 2 last week, number 3, some shit like that.
Yeah.
Now I mean, we number 1. Which one?
I think we were 3, or maybe it was 2. Maybe we moved up to 2 after Sunday's game. It's been a quick week, so I'd have to double check for us. But
we number one. We number one right now. We number one right now. We gotta be. Like, they shut down. We've been for all those that don't know. Like, me and fucking Zen, we be getting it in on the chat. Like, is my microphone working? Yeah. So
no, you work. It sounds good.
We was talking about Terry McLaurin, you know what I mean, and Terry McLaurin got shut the fuck down today, dog.
Yes, what did he have? 1 catch tonight? I didn't even look.
1 catch. He had 1 catch, man. Like, that shit was crazy. I'm taking Nolan Smith off the bum juice list. I don't want to. I don't want to.
You were wrong when you put him on there, dude. You put him on there at the wrong week.
I'm not ready to take him off, but I got to. Like, the Bull got 4 interceptions. 4 sacks.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And he not fucking up. Like,
and it was a good sack tonight, by the way. A 3rd down sack in a critical moment.
Like, he's starting to use technique and shit. I don't know how good that offensive lineman is that was in there blocking him, but I gotta take him off the list, man. N'Kobe missed the INT. You know what I mean? He got lax. Something happened to him, and he was supposed to. It was a play where I felt as though he missed the INT. We do have the Jalen didn't turn over the ball. Jalen didn't turn over the ball, so that was a very, very good thing. Oh, I said in the chat, I know somebody saw it, and I believe it was Flex. Shout out to Flex. Flex don't miss nothing. I said in the chat, Reed Blankenship was going to get an interception in that.
Good stuff. Yeah.
Yeah.
Dude, he's amazing. He deserves a little more credit. All right, any final takeaways? I got to run. I got a bunch of people waiting. I'm a little backed up on time.
Hey, man, Barkley's still healthy after 10 games. And I tweeted John. I asked him if A.J. Brown's still the best player. And shout out to John. He answered me about 15 minutes ago on the show. He's definitely right. The offensive line, that's the star of the team. Like,
is that what John said back to you? That's good. Yeah. I just found your Twitter. Is that a new account that you made? You were tweeting at me last week, but they weren't coming up. Everybody should follow me, by the way. I interact with everybody from JAKIB. If you follow me over on Twitter at Real Zander. But I did follow you back. Good stuff.
I'm just learning how to do all that shit. Like,
yeah,
you know what I mean? Like,
all right, man. I got to run. All right. Anything on the way out, real quick? You want to
say? Who you got tomorrow night?
Who's tomorrow night? Oh, Mike Tyson.
Yeah.
If it gets past 3 rounds, give me Jake Paul.
I got Jake Paul.
If it's early though, I think Mike could knock him out early. But you're a 60-year-old man. You ain't going late in that fight. The minute it gets past round 3, I think Jake knocks him out.
You don't even got the power like that. I don't believe.
I don't either. I think he's 60. I mean, you know.
And I seen him get his ass whooped too many times. He never been the same after Rooney, Kevin Rooney. Ever since he left Rooney, he never been the same, and he been getting his ass whooped. I ain't gonna hold you up, dog. I can talk to you.
Appreciate you, Akbar. Good stuff, brother.
All right.
See you, dog. Good stuff, man. From Akbar. Gabe, I'm coming to you next, brother. You ready for me? Here comes Gabe. What's up, Gabe? How you doing, man?
I'm doing great, man. After this Eagles dub, dude, I can't be more happier, man. There's a couple takes. I'm not gonna take too much of your time.
Yeah, I appreciate you joining me, by the way. I love getting a new face on here. So this is the first time I've had you on. I appreciate you doing it, brother.
Absolutely. First things first, we win in the trenches. I've always said that trenches is going to be the one thing that takes a team to the motherland. And offensive line, defensive line, they showed up tonight. Obviously, the offense has a little bit of work as far as the passing game, but that's why we have a 17-game season, right? So hopefully we can get this turned around for the playoffs. So I know you got a lot of people waiting. I just wanted to say what's up. I love what you, Big Sills, Johnny Mac do, and I'm all the way here in Cali, so I'm gonna be at that LA game next weekend. I'm just really proud.
Awesome, dude! But you going to that game next week for the Rams game?
Yep.
Oh, dope, dude! I enjoy it. Yeah, I appreciate your support, man. Really cool of you to check in. By the way, I think I agree with your takeaways. You're 100% right. I'll ask you one question on the way out. Does the Jalen Hurts, does the passing game bring you great concern, or are you confident we can overcome it?
It does bring me a little concern because of the wide open miscues. Obviously today he got, hit in the head a little bit, but it's a trend. Like Big Still says, trends, right? He's missing people over and over again. So I'm really hoping he can fix it up. I'm a big fan of his, but obviously that's something he's got to fix. So
yeah, especially with the weapons around him.
Right. So thank you, Big D, for getting me out here.
By the way, all of JAKIB Nation, they got the dope ass Eagles merch. I like that sweatshirt you're rocking, man.
Sir, man.
I need to get myself some fresher Eagle merch. All right, brother. Thank you, man. I'll talk to you soon. All right, man.
Take it easy, bro.
Oh, good stuff, man. Good stuff from Gabe. I love getting a new face in here. I got another new face riding the bench. I'm coming to you, brother. Here we go. Let's bring him up. What's going on, my man? How you doing?
Hanging in, bro. How about you? I know it's
I'm
a late
doing well,
evening for you guys.
What's that?
I know it's late for you guys because
Where are you? Are you out in Cali?
No. I'm out in Long Island, dude. It's 1:30 in the morning.
Oh yeah, so you're with me. Yeah, you're with me.
I'm
What'd you
on
take
the
away
East
from the
Coast.
game today, brother?
Bro, this is a tough ass team. This defense is tough as shit.
Yeah, they are.
And then this offense is tough as shit too. We're a run first defensive minded team. That's who we are. We try to be a pass happy team, and it just doesn't work. We got to run the ball and just rely on this defense, kind of like old school football.
Yeah,
that's who we are.
That's exactly what it is. Does it bring you concern, like the passing? Because a lot of people talk about modern NFL. You got to be good in the passing game. I understand both sides of it. Does it bring you concern that we might not be able to beat the pass happy teams that are successful in that?
If we control the clock and don't turn the ball over, to me, no. We have too many playmakers on the outside for that to be much of a concern, in the NFC especially. I think we can kind of run through the NFC. Beating the Kansas City Chiefs is a whole different ball game, but running through the NFC.
We'll worry about the Kansas City Chiefs.
One thing at a time, though.
I agree. The one thing I'll say, though, about the passing game that brings me a little concern is, my bad. I unplugged my mic by accident.
Very good.
The one thing that brings me concern is, like, you see the way the defense kept us in that game today. If for whatever reason on any given Sunday that defense can't hold up early, like the Commanders could have easily had a 2-score lead. And then it's like you come out in that second half, you're not going to be able to use Saquon Barkley like that because you got to pass. That would be my one fear with it, is if the defense doesn't hold up, will we be able to overcome it?
I mean, that's fair. But we see teams we see the teams in the NFL just like give away leads. Like we saw in the Texans and Detroit game. They ran the ball to get back into the game. So I think it's never too late to run the ball and get your offense in rhythm, because Jalen just needs to get in rhythm half the time. We're a second half team. You see, he plays a lot better in the second half for whatever reason. Maybe it's the game plan coming into the first half that's really shitty. But whatever it is, we wake up in the second half and we start playing ball. So those types of things don't really concern me until we're down big, and then that's a whole different conversation. But as of right now, we're riding high. Let's ride the wave a little bit more,
Yep, I agree. Thank you for joining, man. I appreciate it. Thank you for becoming a member tonight, and thank you for all your support of the channel. It's much appreciated, my friend.
Thank you, guys. Appreciate y'all.
Good stuff, man. Thank you, my man. Riding the bench there. Got a couple more people we'll get to. I see the legend. I'm calling A the legend because I like his name. He's just like, just call me A. I'm not giving you a name further than the letter A. The first letter of the alphabet is what I'm good for. I appreciate that. Clary Voy, I'm coming to you, my friend. You ready for me?
What's up, dude?
How you doing, my friend?
Man, feeling good, man.
Yeah,
I thought we were going to win by a little bit more tonight, but we still won,
Yeah, we're in control, my man. How you feeling? You feeling good about the team? You got any concerns about the team? What's on your mind after watching that game?
Actually, I have less concerns going into after this game than going into it, because we just showed tonight we really don't need Hertz to show up. The defense looks good, man.
If the defense does that, you ain't wrong.
Yeah, Saquon looks good. And then all of a sudden, now you're talking more like Ravens than you're talking about the Eagles. And everyone forgets, like, when we won the Super Bowl, Foles did not look good. He did not look good. What was the last 3-4 games of the season? He looked
when he came in for once, he looked terrible. And then the playoffs started, and the dude turned into the second coming of Tom Brady. It was crazy.
So the one thing we can say about Hertz, though, is like when he shows up for a play or two when it matters. He just hasn't had to do that in these games because we've been in control. So I think people be overreacting on a lot of things, honestly. I think we could have a little bit better play calling. Still in the beginning, didn't look great. The scripted plays, we're throwing the ball too much. We need to establish the run.
They
Maybe
love
get
to
a
throw the ball, man.
yeah. You know what? It's almost like it's funny. It's like, hey, they're ranked 28th in run defense. You know what? We're gonna pass the ball, and it's like, why, man? Oh, they're ranked number 1 in pass defense. We're gonna pass the ball because that's just what they want to do. It is what it is. You know, you just have to accept it by now because it ain't gonna change. We can bitch and complain about it. It's gonna happen the same week in and out till after the first quarter, going into the second or even halftime. It's like, if this shit ain't working, and they're gonna run the ball. Hopefully, we're just within like 10 points, and we're gonna come back. That's just how it is.
Yeah. Good stuff, man. Any other takeaways on the game before I let you run?
Man, takeaways from the game.
Zach, defense.
I mean, the defense looked good, but offense, man, I actually was kind of concerned in certain points with our pass offense. I think our run offense is awesome. Our line, but our pass offense looks just suspect at times. It's just me. Maybe that's me. Like that linebacker was all over the place for Washington. Like what I don't remember his name.
Frankie Louvu.
Yeah, Louvu, yeah, or whatever it was. He was all over the place. It's like, man, like how's this dude all like just free? He was blitzing. He was outside. He was inside. It was, he was good, man.
Good. They got really good linebackers. Yeah.
I mean, Wagner's old, but he's still good. But
dude, he's like
looking at it.
4 or something. It's crazy how good he's playing.
And the Eagles could have signed him. Think about that. But guess what?
Well, I mean, Zach Vaughn. I mean, I'm loving
that's
Zach
true.
Vaughn.
We hit gold with that because no one was expecting. I thought our linebackers were going to be the weak link, and they're not. And
you and everybody else thought that. Don't let them fool you. Everybody thought they were.
It might have a little bit to do with our outside is a little bit better than we thought, but also, man, Carter's just wrecking it, dude. You know, and as much as Sills talks a lot about Davis was there tonight. He was making.
Sills didn't give him credit, but I saw Davis there tonight, and they couldn't run the ball at all. Brian Robinson, who I love, is a Bama guy, had like 3 yards of carry. I mean, if that.
Yeah, I mean, I think they had total like maybe 80 yards tonight. But Davis was good, dude. He was playing up pretty much only first and second down from what I saw. But you know, Sills talks about him all the time. Maybe he's just playing the role that he's given. He might not be given that opportunity of pass rushing because that's not what he needs to do. He did his job.
No, well, he's definitely not being asked to pass rush. Appreciate you joining, my friend. Good talking to you every single week.
Have a good night, buddy.
Talk to you again soon. All right, man.
Yep. Later.
All right, good stuff, man. Good stuff. Love when Clary Void joins. Amber, I'll answer this. Barkley had at least 15 runs. You're correct, Amber. He had 16 in the first half, so he had 16 carries in the first half, which I agree with you as well. It definitely wore down that defense. I mean, you get late in the year. That's why I love the run, because you just got to be patient with it. Eventually, especially with a guy like Barkley, eventually it's going to crack. Eventually, the defense isn't going to be able to hold up. You could say that probably about 90% of the defenses in the league, maybe even higher, honestly. Good stuff there, Amber. Appreciate 40 Winers checking in. Tell Hertz to stop sulking on the bench. 49ers. I love Hertz was all there tonight, dude. I'm telling you, that dude was like, you hit little flutter flies flying around his head. He was seeing stars out there, dude. I see you asking for LJ. I knew LJ would flake. I mean, he put in the chat, send me the link. I answered him instantly, and he flaked. LJ's a flake. Let's go to Hot Sport. Coming to you, brother. Here I come.
My man Zander.
What's going on, brother? How you feeling?
No, I'm good. By the way, on a personal anecdote, my anniversary today, so my girlfriend's watching in the other room, so I just wanted to say happy anniversary to her. Oh, no, thanks, man.
Wait, anniversary and it's a girlfriend? You got to put a ring on it, my friend.
It's coming. It's coming.
I just put pressure on you. Your girlfriend's watching.
You did. She's watching too.
Yeah. Have a conversation when you get off here. Look at that. Look at that.
I know.
I love it.
Look, now you're gonna be blushing on TV. Damn.
Yeah. What'd you think of the game tonight?
Look, I actually took notes again today, and so I know you want to be quick here, but I took a lot of notes. Firstly, not quite 42-14.
No, not even. So. Actually, everybody that gave me a score prediction last week was way off.
Yeah, I know. First of all, Zander, I love watching you lock horns with Sileo, because today I thought I thought you went into the ring with the big man and you had him in the corner today. I just gotta say,
I should have kept pushing, but he puts that sulky face on. I hope Sills is listening. I'm chirping him. I'll chirp him to his face. That.
Yeah, no, it was good. It was good, man. Your representation for all of us.
Sileo.
We can't. The rest of us can't go talk to him, but you can, and you're like represent all of us, and you're in the ring for us, man. I appreciate
that. Yeah.
Look, I just want to say, like, this is the big game. We have been building up to this game all week. We've been hyped for this game. This was the game for the NFC East. Who was the real deal? Was it the Eagles? Was it the Commanders? And it's the Eagles that are the real deal. And I get, look, we had the first half struggles, and you guys have spoken about that enough. But I gotta say, look, this morning I was watching the Rich Eisen show, which I haven't watched for ages, but he was going on about But he was going about the Commanders. Oh, look how an amazing story to be if the Commanders would win this game. What would it be for the Commanders? Blah blah blah. And I'm like, do you realize what's actually going to happen tonight, Rich? Right? So what are we talking about here, man? But look, I got a question for you, and this is a talking point I've been thinking throughout this game and the analysis this week. People keep telling me that Washington's the future of this division. They're an up-and-coming team. But look at our roster, and I think we are an up-and-coming team. And Jalen Hurts, we'll get to him in a moment, but he's still in the prime of his career. He's still a young guy. But I remember like watching Dan's show, and he used to ask like, who is our building blocks on defense? Who's going to be there for? Yeah. And they're certainly there now. I mean, Jalen Carter, Jordan Davis.
To Sills' credit, you heard him acknowledge that a little bit tonight, where he's now seeing.
I did.
Guys. Yes, I mean, and he wasn't wrong last year. You looked at that defense, and it was still a Fletcher Cox show. It was still Slay and Bradbury, and you're like, okay, what now? I mean, remember, think about it. Cooper DeJean, Quinyon Mitchell, Jalen Carter, Nolan Smith showing up. Jordan Davis, I don't know what they're going to do with him, but he's showing up. Zach Bond's new. Nakobe Dean's a first-year starter.
We still have Sidney Brown in there, who hasn't got a lot of minutes. You got Trotter, who's not got a lot of minutes. You got Jalex Hunt, who's not got a lot of minutes. Those guys are still developing. Like Akbar was saying, oh, Nolan's no longer bum juice. And I was sitting there in the chat being like, for me, Nolan was never bum juice. You have to be patient. These are players who are developing. Like, you get what I'm saying? Like, I think the Eagles understand. I think Howie gets it. Like, that's why he doesn't throw them in the water right away. But these are players who are getting used to moving from college football to the NFL and getting used to the pace of the league. And Nolan he's been given the opportunity this year. And I think as the season has gone on, he's become a really, really solid pass rusher. But look, I want to get on to Jalen Hurts today because I want to be, and we had a bit of a chat earlier on Twitter going back and forth, me and you.
Yeah.
Look, I gotta.
I didn't know that was you, by the way. I don't know why
Anton,
Twitter hides some people from me. Like, you mentioned me and it didn't come up, and then I followed you and it came up.
No, I was burning Jake Elliott, and I'll also get to him in a bit.
Yeah,
I'm a bit.
Can't say we got to.
You know what? I'll get to Jake Elliott first, so I can get over with first, and then we'll talk about Jalen. But Jake Elliott, man, I'm watching everybody else. I was watching that Monday night game and that Jake Bates, right? Some field goal kickers are making 58-yarders look like extra points, and I love Jake. I think he's been an incredibly consistent kicker for us for the year. I'm not going to just forget all that after one game, but it has been an entire season where he can't hit 50-yarders. Like, if I can't rely on my kicker to hit me from 50. I can't rely on my kicker to give me an extra point. Like, we were all complaining about going for 2 against Jacksonville. Well, you know what? How about if some of those times we went for 2, Jake Elliott went and missed another extra point? It would have been the same thing. Like he's got to step up his game, man. And I really hope, I think this is a warning for him. Like, he needs to pick it up. Otherwise, I don't think we should get rid of him now. But if he continues this way, we can't keep him around in the future. I'm sorry. Like, I'm sounding harsh. Did your mic bug out, Zander?
I got it. You're holding Jake Elliott to a higher standard than you hold Jalen Hurts to. Why?
Because he's a field goal kicker. This is his job. It's all he's expected to do in the game. If he can't hit, there's so much more that Jalen has to do than Jake Elliott has to do.
Let's be honest. Field goal kicker, but you're crying about me saying Jalen's got to be better in the pass game. He's supposed to be a top quarterback.
This is what I mean, and I'm going to get into it because we've been I've been thinking about this for a while on the whole Jalen Hurts thing, because when I watch Jalen Hurts, I'm always very confident in this man. Like, yes, he has times when you're like, you get frustrated. We're going 3 and out, 3 and out, 3 and out, and you're like, oh God, like he doesn't read the field properly sometimes. He misses wide open guys. That is all true. I'm never going to deny it. But at the end of the day, I still remember that Super Bowl, even though we lost, he makes big plays after big plays. That I remember that huge TD he threw to AJ, the touchdown and the extra point to tie the ball game at the end of the game. Like, he went toe-to-toe with Mahomes in that game in the biggest spot. Like, when we need him, I know that he can deliver. I know, like, let's not forget, just because of tonight, he's been hitting, Devontae for some beautiful TDs. He can hit, I can hit AJ for a bomb whenever he wants. It's not optimism. I've seen it. And by the way, today, he made plays that when we needed to, after we missed that call on Devontae Smith, he got that first down, stretched out at the start of the fourth quarter.
Yeah, I mean,
that was the play.
Ground. I mean,
be honest. Before that, Zander, be honest. I want to say this is important. Before that play, right? If he doesn't make that play, we lose the ball game. That was the play that led to us eventually scoring a touchdown, which led to basically from then on we broke the game open. Obviously, got the Saquon with the.
No, you're right about that. We only had 6 points after the third quarter. That's when they broke open.
So but that's what I mean. Our quarterback makes plays. It might not be through the air. You sometimes have to ride through some spotty patches. And you brought it up I was watching you on X. You were talking about the concussion throughout the whole time. And look, he cleared concussion protocol, which is an important thing to say. But
he did. But what does concussion protocol mean? I mean, concussion
means they put like a stick in front of your eyes and see if you can follow.
Where it's like, if you break an arm, it's pretty freaking easy to tell you broken arm. If you have a concussion, it's hard to tell. And Jalen's a tough dude. I don't think. I don't know. I don't know what to make of that. But I think he definitely got a little bit. Woo-hoo.
And just by the way, I will leave you alone in a second because I also got stuff to do with my day. I wrote this down.
Like 10 a.m. there? Don't give me that shit.
Actually, 5:45 p.m. now. Actually, that's how late it is. Oh my god! And this game started at 12 for me. But Dan was saying, "Oh, how are you going to beat Patrick Mahomes?" And I wrote this down so I wouldn't forget. First of all, we beat Patrick Mahomes with Jalen playing a very similar game last year in Arrowhead to start off with, and our defense was nowhere near as good. And secondly, Mahomes has not been great this year. This has been Mahomes' worst.
You should apply to the Eagles. I think they would hire you.
You know what? That would be a dream. I'm not going to lie. If you can,
I know it would be a dream.
I know the Eagles watch your shows. If you can give me a good reference, I'll take it very
much. Don't worry. They have a problem with JAKIB because of bake sells, but that's all right. Yeah. We don't bow down to anybody over here. All right, man. I got to run. All right, I got a couple more people.
Oh, by the way, dude, one last question. Is that a whoop?
Yes, it is. I wear a whoop.
Oh, dude. Yeah. Why buy a whoop?
I'm not a big Apple Watch guy, but I do like health insights and stuff. So it's great. It's great.
I get it on my Apple Watch too. Man.
Yeah,
I get
but
way more.
Apple Watch just looks corny. I'm not an app. Do I look like an Apple Watch kind of guy to you? No.
Dude, you look like you're wearing a Ralph Lauren polo. Like, dude, you look like a man who enjoys very nice things. So.
Yeah, I appreciate you, man. Thank you for joining again. Good stuff, brother. I'll talk to you again, not this weekend, but all the way next week after the Rams.
I know 10 days from now, right?
Yeah, got a little mini buy here. So good stuff, brother. Yeah. All right, I'll catch you soon.
All right. Yeah, catch you soon, brother.
See you, man. Good stuff from the legend, Hot Sport, making a name for himself here. I like it. Good stuff, man. Hey, I'm coming to you, A. O-line, are you in here, by the way? I can't see your picture. If you're in here, just let me know. I'll make sure I get to you soon. Hey, I'm coming to you. What's up, my friend? How you doing, my man?
How's it going, Zander? Best show, best Eagles show on the internet.
Thank you, man. I
Congratulations.
appreciate that. What'd you make of the game tonight, my friend?
First off, fly Eagles fly, bleed green. Always great to be another division rival. You know, that's a great win. So, like I said, Redskins, just like the Cowboys, I want to see them lose every game. But they're a better team than the Cowboys. So, this was like a prove-it game. What's this guy's name? Hotsport just said it was like a prove-it game for us. You know, it very easily could have gone the other way. The first half was trash. So
did they prove it to you, though?
I mean, in certain aspects, yeah. I mean, I kind of expected us to win the game. Remember, I said last week 21-17.
Yeah, I got all the scores. You're right. I think you might. We had Abe was 28-21, so they won 26-18. Abe was close. You were decently close with 21-17. Bob Brown had 27-24. I had 28-24. So we were a couple people in the ballpark.
We were in the ballpark, but obviously shoulda, woulda, coulda. The thing is, we left a lot of points on the board. It easily could have been a 30-burger game. The refs gave them some points with that phantom PI on DeJean. That was a terrible 3 more
call.
Points. So I was like, okay, what's going on here, refs? You guys got some money on the game.
The refs were shoddy today. The
refs had some money on the game, man.
I think the refs took the commies on the money line, man.
The face mask on Devontae where he whips his head around. I'm like, my granddad could have seen that one.
That one drives me crazy because the replay's playing right in front of him. Right?
Can they not look at the replay and just be like, hey guys, I think we got this one
the
wrong.
whole crowd is reacting to it. Whatever. So, but what do you think of the defense, man? You think they can sustain this?
Man, I told you, I'm a believer in the defense, and Vic Fangio's not going anywhere. He said at the beginning of the year, he's not interested in being like a head coach, that he wants to just be a defensive coordinator.
Yeah, he's definitely
this defense is legit. This defense is legit. The rookies are legit. DeJean, I thought since we drafted him, when we drafted him, we could have got him in the first round. I thought he was the best defensive back there. Obviously, Quignon's been amazing. Quintanamo Bay.
Yeah, I like that.
But I also don't want to overhype this game. I know everyone's gonna stick on the fact that no yards completed to him. Jayden Daniels had a terrible game. He barely targeted Scary Terry, and I think that's a little bit of a misleading.
Who the hell is Scary Terry? What's the opposite of the word scary? That's what Terry's called for the next week. You can't be called Scary Terry
he was
after a one-catch, 10-yard performance versus a rookie cornerback. He ain't Scary Terry anymore.
So it was, obviously I think those guys are locked down. And I don't think we saw Maddox out there at all. I mean, last week we saw him because we were blowing out the Cowboys. It was a closer game. So you know how I feel about that. We didn't see him out there. So Vic Fangio knows how to put his guys in the right spot. I got a couple things I want to, talk about. So that's why, I'm talking a little fast.
Yeah, you're good, man. You're good. You sound good, brother.
All right. Thanks, man. Let's get to Hertz real quick. It wasn't a good game, and I don't know. I don't believe in all the hate that people give him. I think he's a way better passer, like ball placement. But he was, like you said, seeing stars, shaking up. Like from the trick play onwards, I was like, all right, this guy's banged up, and he might have cleared the concussion. I don't know if there's a difference between getting shaken up and not being concussed or being concussed or not. Right. But I just know he went in there and he put on that stone cold face, and he's like, I'm good. And he's coming out there. If Kenny Pickett had gone in when he went in the tent, we're not winning that game. I mean, maybe Barkley could have pulled out a miracle, but I don't think we're winning that game.
My dude, we were not winning that game if Jalen didn't come out. For all the people who dislike Jalen, I know there's a lot of people, and he's not my prototypical exact quarterback.
He's a top 10 quarterback, man. He's a top 10 quarterback.
Well, do you have any issues with the way he misses guys and stuff like that? Like some of those conversations are.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, I would love to see him go 30 for 30. Every quarterback misses throws, though, and see some guys. There were a couple throws that I was like, okay, this is egregious. McMullen brought it up. The Devontae Smith going up the seams. I'm like, bro. God. But okay, all game, Dan Quinn, his game plan was put 8 guys in the box. As soon as the snap comes out, have 2 guys around A.J. Brown, have 2 guys around Devontae Smith. So he's taking away the outside. He's stacking the box so that running it is a little bit more difficult. He had 5 and 6 guys on the line for most of the game. So he was trying to take away that inside. He's trying to take away that outside. That only leaves the middle. And I saw, from what I saw, because I was watching the prime cast or whatever, where they're showing like the back. I was like, okay, I can see all 22 here. Feel like a real quarterback.
Oh, do they have another broad? That's not like you didn't have like
not the side cast. It was like the
okay. That's cool.
Backfield.
I don't know if I've ever seen that.
It was awesome. Prime Vision cast with next gen stats or something like that. So I was watching that the whole game. But I'm like, okay, Dallas Goedert is open like all the time over the middle here. He's just not seeing him. Over the middle, he just struggles to hit those throws. And then you talked about it. The difference between him now and in 2022 is that he's elite. The difference is that in 2022, he was on tempo. He was Shane Steichen, and it's boop boop deep pass, boop boop pass, and now he's just a little bit off, whether that's because he's not seeing the guy, he's hesitant, or because he doesn't want to turn the ball over. I'm happy with how he played today because he didn't turn the ball over. Obviously, I want him to do more like everybody else, and like the front office, I'm sure. They don't want to be a running team, man.
No,
they
they
do
don't.
not want to be a running team. You know why? Because those wide receivers sell tickets and sell jerseys.
Yeah.
they invested way too much money on the outside.
Jerseys. Saquon Barkley sells some jerseys, that's for sure.
I mean, you're definitely giving away a lot of his jerseys this year. Saquon Barkley, I said he's like, top running back in the league, just as good as McCaffrey. He was playing on the Giants. He was the only weapon. And with his O-line, anybody can be great, but he is a closer, and he takes us to that next level. He gets us over the hump. I think he's like the best running back in the league. Plus, he's a great dude, a solid wide receiver, and a solid blocker. So, but don't want him to get hurt, Kenny Gainwell, there's a huge drop off, there's a huge drop off there. So it's like, would you really want to have to be relying on him in the playoffs?
Yeah, Kenny ran okay tonight. Kenny's streaky, but I do agree with everything you said.
There were huge holes, Kenny, the thing I like about Kenny is that, and I wrote it down, it was like 4 carries for like 40 something yards.
Yeah.
But he doesn't fumble the ball, so that, hey, that's good enough. And he hits the hole when it's there, boom. So that's all you can ask for him. Get those yards. So as far as the defense, I don't think they're gonna have a problem. We're gonna see how Lamar stacks up, okay? Because I do think that Jayden Daniels had a really tough game because this defensive line was giving him fits, so maybe we could say, okay, the outside was holding those wide receivers down. I think the defensive line was giving him fits, and he wasn't seeing the field. Blankenship, man. Close that game out. He seems to show up every game in the final quarter to close it out. He says, shut the door.
What did he wear to the game that everybody was tweeting about? Exciting whites or something?
I don't know. I didn't like the t-shirt, but I
didn't either. I'm like, what the fuck is that? Thing is stupid.
Nah, I would like the milkman or something like that.
I guess
Chalk Doc, Milkman, whatever.
Other good ones. All right, my man. Thank you for joining, brother. You had great takeaways, by the way. I enjoyed listening to you, by the way. You sound good, look good. Good takeaways.
Appreciate it, man. If I could just get a couple more.
Yeah, go ahead. Yep.
Just a couple more. Stop hating on Jay Kelly, everybody. Dude had 95% field goal last year. I think it was the yips. He was in his head a little bit, hooking it.
Kick, dude. He's a kicker.
We were taking the points earlier. He's a little cold. He comes in. Now you're putting now we're just
Nick.
kicking it 5 times a game.
I blame Nick.
Justin Tucker's missing field goals, but he's like in his 13th season. So it's like, we give him some slack.
Yeah, it's happening.
Jake Kelly. Brandon Graham is amazing. He wasn't producing earlier in his career. Now he's a staple, one of the best guys on our defensive line right now.
He's an Eagles Hall of Famer, my friend.
So it's like, come on, man. You got to give these guys times to develop. Nolan Smith stepping up, all these Georgia Bulldogs. Howie invested a lot into getting this defense where it needs to be, into this defensive line, into the defensive secondary, and he put a lot into the culture as well. Because you can harp on Jordan Davis for not doing enough. He does his job. He's plugging the gap. That's what he's there for. So, and it's part of the culture. They're used to playing with these guys around them, and I think that's a big part of it. And he's not a liability. Earlier in his earlier couple years, he was a little bit of a liability out there, and I don't really see it now. Most significant plays for me. The Bond stop on 4th down, which obviously had help from Blankenship. I don't know if you saw it, but Blankenship flew across the field and slowed down Jayden Daniels.
Yeah,
he could have been the one to make that stop, but he slowed Jayden Daniels down.
Yeah, because he moved him. He took his angle away. You're right, but Reed kind of it was a good play.
So Bond laid the hit down on them, and then obviously the Calcaterra recovery. The Calcaterra fumble recovery, which basically saved our bacon. Dallas Goedert doing his moves or whatever, and the Jalen Hurts hit him. It was open. Jalen Hurts had a good check down to Barkley as well. Jalen Hurts had some good plays, man.
Was big.
But the Calcaterra was huge, man. That changes the game. It was still like a 1-point game at that point. So, that would have been a huge momentum shift for them to be able to get in the 4th quarter with that. And then that was the last one that Jalen hit the check down, which we don't normally see him do, with the blitz in his face. He hit Barkley, and Barkley had a 50-yard game.
Yeah,
so
43.
I'm happy with how he played today. Obviously, we know this is not his ceiling, but he is a top 10 quarterback. His play style isn't Joe Burrow or Jared Goff to where he has to throw you out of this game. So we try not to put him in that position, but
Good stuff, man. Look, good listening to you, brother. You're breaking down the game good, man. You do a good job, man. I like the way you see it. Good stuff. Hey, I appreciate it.
Love listening to your show.
I need to we need to come up with a nickname in the chat for A. Is it Alphabet? What do we want to call A? Yeah, I feel like I need a
I mean, if you could come up with one, it's cool, man. A to me is perfectly fine, bro. I'm not like you. I gotta be showing my face all the time. So.
Yeah, I hear you, man. All right, brother. Good stuff, bro. I'll talk to you again soon.
You have a good night, man.
All right, good stuff, man. Great stuff from A, man. I thought that was really good. Good to listen to him. He definitely had a good sense of the game. I think he's a little high on Jalen, but that's all right. That's all right. He's laughing in the green room. It's all right. Eagle fans gonna be a little high on Jalen Hurts. You got to complete them passes, man. All right, good stuff. Let's keep rolling. I got Abe, D.O., and O-Line Guru coming through. Abe, you next. D.O., and then O-Line Guru coming to you. Abe, my guy. What's up, brother?
What's up, man? How you doing?
I'm doing good, man. How you doing?
Shit. Terrible.
You got the JAKIB beanie on? Yeah, my boy. Looking good. I got my beanie, too. I don't have it down here, but you're looking fly. What you think of the game today, brother?
Well, I could say that our defense is or should be number one.
They're close, man. Yeah.
Man, they are flying. Like, whoever said it in the chat the other day that go ball, like see ball, go ball, man, go get it, man. Everybody was on it. Smitty is definitely better than Terry and Lamb. BG definitely is helping out the young dudes.
Smitty ain't better than Lamb, dog. Shut up. And don't be going down that road on the postgame show. I don't want to talk about a Cowboy player, but you sound crazy. Smitty had 30 yards today, and he had an easy drop. I know you saw the drop.
If he's bringing on double coverage on him like that, he's way better than CD and Terry. There ain't no way in hell that Smitty ain't better. That's one thing for sure.
That's that JAKIB hat is messing with your brain or something, man. Got like big sales takes in there or something.
No. And Jake Elliott, I don't give a damn. You kick a damn ball. Do the damn thing. Come on, man. I saw a video today of Chad Ochocinco made a damn field goal. Come on. What the hell was that?
See, half of me agrees with you, half of me agrees with A, where I'm like, I like Jake. Gotta give him some slack, but
I'm sorry.
He's over 4 this year on 50-plus yarders. I mean, we yell at Nick to take the points. What's he gonna do? Take the points when he's over? If he's got a 50-plus yarder, Jake ain't working.
He's selling. Man is selling.
He is. He is. All right. What do you think? Are you concerned on the Jalen Hurts conversation or what?
Well, you saw there was open passes right there to the left where Smitty, with that go ball to Smitty in the end zone. Man, there was a pass right there to the left to Goddard, I think.
Yeah, there was.
Man, and drop passes from people today. Like, come on, Dodgers.
Yeah, you're right. That didn't
You're
help.
supposed to do better than that. And
Did
then
he have a concussion, Abe? What did you think of that?
Hey man, if he got concussed, fuck it. At least he stayed in and played the rest of the game and won us the damn shit. I don't care. He went old school, I'd say.
He did. He did go old school. I hope his health is all right. But I appreciate you being here. Any other takeaways you want to get in, brother, before I let you go?
Well, I got two questions. So
All right.
I think Hotspot was talking about how, Jalen will be playing in the future. We know that he can't be playing like this in his 30s. Come on.
Who, Jalen?
Yeah, obviously. He can't be running like that.
No.
So
I think Hotspot even knows that.
Yeah, come on. We all know that. So do you think he's developing his passing skills and pocket presence now so he could be here in the future? And the second question would be, so we just saw how our defense is, and we know how the Ravens defense is. So the Rams defense is definitely better. Who's going to give us more of a problem, though? The Rams offense or Ravens offense?
Ravens offense.
Okay.
Definitely. And to the first question, I think you bring up a good point with that. And there's moments that I watch Jalen and I'm like, oh, he's getting better. And then there's moments I watch Jalen and I'm like, what the fuck was that? So this is what he's a hard. I got to be honest. He's a hard guy to get a gauge on. But here's what I'll say about Jalen. And because of that, I'll default to what Jalen's been in the last 8 years of his career. And in the last 8 years of his career, dating all the way back to college, the guy's gotten better every single year in something. So if he focuses on the passing game, I got to believe he'll get better at it. My one concern would be the processing. Because processing and it's not so much reading defenses. Like you can be able to read a defense, but you don't process it fast enough in the moment. That's two different things, right? Like I can look at a defense and be like, oh, I know what they're calling. It's another thing to look at it, read it, process it, and then pass to the right option within 3 or 4 seconds.
It's not like
I don't think that's something you can learn. That might be one of those things where you either got it a little bit or you don't. And I worry maybe there a little bit, but I think he'll get better. I mean, like I said, he's been getting better for 8 years, dude. I think he's going to get better.
Hopefully, man. Hopefully, because we got to be in this for the next 5 years with damn Jayden. Like, we can't be doing this.
Hey, you're a funny motherfucker, man. I appreciate you joining, man. I'll talk to you again soon, all right?
All right, appreciate it. Go
All
Birds.
right, good stuff, man. Great stuff from the legend. The legend Abe checking in, man. Dio, you ready? I'm coming to you, brother. What's going on?
I'm here with
man?
you, my friend. Hey, you're the best, Big Z. Thanks for taking Sills and putting them on the ropes and giving them all kinds of body blows before you can go hit that jaw on him tomorrow doing the crow day, man.
Yeah, I like
it's gonna
that.
be fun.
That's a good way to think of it. I threw the jab tonight, and I'll knock his ass out tomorrow. What'd you make of the game tonight, man?
Like the other guys, man. I am probably more convinced now that they can play probably with anyone and win football the old-fashioned way with incredible defense and two great, as Sills would say, running backs, right?
Yeah, that's true. Well, Jalen is a big +1 in the running game, and it does open things up because defense got to account for it. So, all jokes aside, I mean, I don't even think it's a rip on him. I do think it's true. What do you think? You think this defense can maintain this though, dude? They're playing near top in the league. You're getting just unbelievable play from some of these guys. You think they can sustain it?
Well, do they have to sustain it though? I guess that's the bigger question.
Yeah, if Jalen's not going to be a prolific passer, they got to sustain it.
Well, I think the other thing though is that the big balance is with Hertz and Saquon kind of leading the charge. You got both those guys that can run that are running so well that the game right now. I think I was trying to do some research on. I did some data and analytics in the past. He was a lawyer in another life as well too, but been a Birds fan since '81. So goes back a ways. That was when I was like 9. So it's been been a huge fan for a very long time, consuming lots of lots of media. You guys are the best, really, and love it that you share it this way with us too. So, but where I was going with that, sorry for the tangent there, dude. Just kind of geek out a little bit here and there, man.
Nobody knows tangents better than me, my friend.
Indeed, that's true. Yeah, you witness them a lot, right?
I do. 4 hours a day. 6.
Right now, I think Barkley is on pace, man. The reason why this has never happened for Sills, is Barkley's on pace to do something that hasn't been done in 30 years, man. The way he's running the ball in the second half of games, no one in the last 30 years in the NFL has run the ball that way. They are closing games, man. I didn't think Saquon was a closer when he came here because he didn't close games in New York. I think Sills says he wasn't a closer. I think everyone said that. Dude, this guy's a closer with that offensive line, man.
Yeah,
but I don't know if you got it. I sent I tweeted a video to you guys I think it was back before the Cincinnati game. I have a full-time job as well, right? But
I don't know.
I don't get to do as much fun stuff.
Weird. If I don't, do I follow you on Twitter?
I'll have to go and look at some stage. I don't post a whole lot of stuff, so maybe not.
I know
I'm Dio on there as well, but
YouTube channel. I try and follow back. So just holler at me tonight. I'll try and follow you.
Well, but what I was going to say is, in that video, with the video, I was using it to show that I thought the O-line, and you can ask the O-line guru too, because I'm a huge fan of him as well. And I don't think most people look at the O-line this way when you have one as good as ours is. Could it actually be stunting Hertz and causing him to be able to go and make I wouldn't say he's playing hero ball. Wentz kind of played hero ball, and you've seen those things, and when they kind of fail a lot. I think what Hertz is doing right now is passing up small plays, for big plays. So I call it big play hunting. So he's out there holding the ball a little too long, passing on the middle throw. One, you might throw an interception if you throw it. Two, he's looking for something else further in his reads. So he's reading the defense better and more. But then when he goes into that, but that O line is giving him that time, 4 or 5 seconds at times. So he's holding on to the ball for freaking ever too. So it's actually stunting his growth, man, in a way. So I was hoping maybe with having the left tackle in there as one of Johnson, I thought maybe he would throw the ball faster more, but they did pretty good protecting when he was in there. So they didn't have to, but so I know what people say that the wide receivers are stunting his growth, but maybe that O line is doing it too. Not that I would ever give up our O line, because I think we finally figured out that is the real wheel that turns this machine.
Yeah.
And the defensive line now is lighting up too on Vinny Curry night. God, man, that was awesome.
Yeah, it's great stuff. All right, brother. Thank you for joining, man. I appreciate it. I'll talk to you again soon. All right, my friend.
Indeed. Cheers, brother.
Same. Good stuff there. I got last one. O-line guru. O-line, you there, brother? I don't know if you're there. His picture's not showing up for me, but I will see if he's there. O-line guru, are you out there? Of course, by the way, it's pretty funny, guys. I mean, on the night that we have, I got an 8 a.m. show tomorrow and the night game on a Thursday night. I decided to do the longest post-game show yet. We're up to 2 hours and 50 minutes. I mean, Jesus criminy. Oh, my God. That's all right. I ain't complaining. I love talking. I think Caleb is gonzo. He's not answering me. Caleb, are you out there? I'm looking forward to talking to Caleb. I think maybe he fell asleep with his phone on his lap or something. I think it's 2 in the morning here, 2:09. Not too bad. It's not too bad. 2:09. Almost close. I'm close to an all-nighter at this point. I mean, if I get to 5:30, 6 a.m., I'm at an all-nighter. Do I just do it at that point? Do I just freaking do it and do the show in the morning? No, because then I'll be dealing with Sills' ass all in the afternoon. I'm not doing that. I got to get some rest. I'll take a couple more. Yeah, LJ did. LJ wussed out. I'll be giving LJ some shit for that because, it's one thing. It's one thing that, talk some shit. And I like people that talk shit, but do it in a way that's, I don't mind LJ's method of shit talking. It's like another form of M. Reyes's shit talking, Look at M. Reyes. Sig Lord, yeah, man. But I'm not anymore, but that's where I grew up. And that's where the headquarters is. Yeah. Appreciate you, Sig Lord. I got to get to some more super chats, by the way. We got a lot of super chats tonight, man. You guys are showed out on the super chats, which, by the way, go a very long way in helping the channel. So I appreciate super chats like no other, man. You guys are savages, man. Savages. I appreciate the hell out of it. Let me see if I can read a couple of these. Keith Johnson. Keith, you still in here? I doubt it. I bet you most people are probably gone. Oh, wow. We still have 630 watching on YouTube. Holy shit. How many of those people are asleep with their phone next to them? Got to be some of them. Sig Lord says Glenside here. Sig Lord, I went to grade school in Glenside, and my Nana, God rest her soul, the most beautiful, amazing woman to ever grace this earth, my Nana, staunch, 100% Italian, greatest grandma in the world. She lived right on Easton Road, my friend, right in Glenside, big white house in the corner. Legend. I miss her dearly. She passed like 9 years ago now. But I went to St. Luke's, brother, right on Easton Road. St. Luke's. Glenside Weldon you went to. Cool, man. I went to St. Luke's. Good stuff. Love that. Love that people are close by. Love that there's some people in the area. Johnny Mack and Sills. Why was Daniels ineffective tonight? Defensive line, my friend. Jalen Carter was wrecking him. He was seeing ghosts. Jayden Daniels was seeing ghosts out there. A-Bay says Jalen Hurts is holding my Eagles back. Maybe holding the offense back to some extent, but I'm not going to say that. There's also, in the same breath, A-B, he wins a lot of football games for us, makes a lot of plays for us. He does a lot of good things. I don't think you can just say that in a vacuum there. Sig Lord, appreciate your super chat, brother. I don't think you've mentioned Sirianni once tonight. We have not. I don't think I don't think we've uttered the name Nick Sirianni. That is prime time right there, folks. Appreciate you, Sig Lord. A says, oh, A, you're still in here. Good stuff, man. Thanks for the super chat. Jalen didn't have a good game passing, but no turnovers, and I do think he was shaken up since the trick play. This was far from his ceiling. I agree with that. He was definitely shaken up after that trick play. I don't care who says what about a concussion protocol. Blaze says, I agree how he won't pay him. Probably talking about Zach Bond there. We'll see what they end up doing with him. Shawnsky says, do you think our DB can blanket Detroit wide receivers like they did tonight against Washington? Yeah, I do. Why would they not be able to? I mean, our DBs are playing as good as anybody right now, and it's not just the cornerbacks anymore. You got Reed Blankenship, who's like all of a sudden an interception king. How many interceptions does he have on the year now? Let me look it up. Let me look up what my boy Reed Blankenship's got. Let me look it up. What's he at right now? 2? Is that right? 3. He's got 3. He got 1 in opening week, Green Bay, 1 versus New Orleans, and then 1 tonight versus the Commanders. 3 for Big Reed. Love that. Good stuff. Caleb Brandon, my man. I think he fell asleep. I'm telling you. I got to ask him tomorrow. He dropped in. The big QB is the second best winning quarterback in the league. It's true. He's in here. Look, here he is. He's not there. Yo, O-line. Dude's asleep. He's asleep at the phone. Q-Ball says, if they stop the BS in the first half, we're the best team overall. QB is still the weakest link in the huddle. However, great win. I think was a great win. I don't know if I'm ready to say that yet about Jalen. Blaze says, Blaze, thanks for your support tonight, man. Nick Foles won us a ring and Jalen can't. I bet he can take us to the promised land and win this year if we healthy, and I can't wait to see her face. I would assume he's talking to Big Sills with these. He's not. He can't be yelling at me. I mean, shit, what the fuck? Khaled says, Sills, are you forgetting what Hertz did to the Chiefs in the Super Bowl? Is he good enough to win it all? Or he is good enough to win it all? That's true, Khaled. We got to get back to that form, though. Yo, Brian Fleming, are you still in here? Is Brian Fleming still in here? He is. Yeah, he is. I still see it. Brian, you got me cracking up with some of your chats, man. Hertz was such dog shit. Zander thought he had CT. I did not say that. I said the dude clearly got banged up on the halftime show. I think that's what he's referring to. AJ wide open, and he almost hit Dan Quinn. Stalled multiple times in the red zone against the 28th ranked D. Helen Keller over the middle. Come on, Brian. Come on, Brian. I appreciate you, brother. I appreciate you, man. You're a great supporter of this channel. So I appreciate the hell out of you, brother. You're a funny dude, too. I'd love to meet everybody from JAKIB Nation one time. Caleb, I'm reading. These are like in memory of Caleb. He's asleep at the wheel tonight. We the best, Zander. You on point. Appreciate you, bro. Another one. We are fine. Number 1 is fine. Passing game, fine. We good. He's feeling good, clearly. Brody Z. Look at that. I like that. Brody Z. I'm purposely missing the first half from now on. This team doesn't start playing until the third quarter. Yeah, seriously. The pregame show will now start before halftime. We'll see. Subway Sileo, make our sandwich. Hertz wins again. Oh, Reyes. Dirty air. 2 weeks. Henry versus Saquon. Lamar versus Jalen. Injected into my veins. I'm with you on that, my dude. I'm with you. That's going to be a hell of a game. Who do we have next week? Rams, right? Yeah, we got the Rams now. That's kind of a sleeper game. I'm not going to lie. That team is weirdly streaky, but if they get hot, that offense can be scary. So you got to take them seriously. We don't wife these 304s. I know this guy personally. He's a great guy. Score 6 points in 3 quarters versus the Lions. Dude, your Cowboys are the worst team in the league. Fuck out of here with that. How was Quinion and Cooper? I didn't see the game. Dre, they were tremendous. Tremendous. Maybe Quinion's best game yet. Christian says, Dan, it's a new OC. It takes time. How many QBs have had their career ruined changing OCs almost every year? Can we give Hertz credit for his play? Yeah, but why are you blaming us for that? That's the organization, dude. They don't want stability at that. Get off Lamar's balls. Your homeboy loses games. Hertz don't. Okay, big fish. I already read that. Reed Pickenship. There you go. That's a good one. I like that. Paul Barbarian. I like that name. But it's like a barbarian. Savage. Sills. Jalen is rocking Jerome's Canes jersey, number 98. No way. Did he wear that tonight at the Oh, I think he's talking about Jalen Carter's jersey number. Not Jalen that wasn't wearing a Jerome Brown jersey tonight, was he? No. Is BG a better vet and captain than Cox, Abe says. Yeah, probably. That just wasn't as much Fletcher's role. I don't know. Oh, that's a good question. I'd be curious to see what the people in the chat say about that. Mike. That's a great idea, Mike. For those who don't know what he's talking about, Z, you need to do a 24-hour fundraiser stream for the Coats. So let me pull up real quick. 1 second. All right. So for those who don't know, my father, who's been doing JAKIB Media for 13 years, I started JAKIB Sports with him 4.5 years ago, almost 5 years ago now. I mostly handle the sports now. He does all the other media stuff on the other side of JAKIB. We are very tight, me and my father. He has been doing Krause's Coats, it's called, for 20 years. He has now collected over 300,000 coats that he gives to veterans, to homeless folks, to homeless shelters, all throughout the city of brotherly love. And he's been doing this, like I said, for 20 years. Over 300,000 coats, everybody. So he does north of 10,000 coats a year, and we are buckling up. Obviously, it's November now. We have a big Thanksgiving drive for the veterans. My father is a great role model for me. He is a very giving man. He does a lot for people, and I appreciate you bringing it up, Mike. I don't know how you know my dad. I don't know what your relationship is, how you know about the Coats, but I appreciate you bringing it up because I do want to do something for. Krause's Coats this year. I actually talked to him recently about that. James M. said, your father gave me my Devontae Smith jersey in a giveaway years ago. Yes, I remember. We did that together. That was me and my dad together. Was that the night that we gave away 10? 10? We gave away 10 that night. That was after the draft. That was a fun night, James M. Thank you for being here for so long, man. That's really cool of you. Yeah, Brian, 300 coats, man. He crossed 300,000 coats last year. And we're on pace this year. He's already collected thousands this year. It's funny because, at a house I grew up in, my dad, they still live there. My parents still together, almost 30 years together now. He's got bags of coats just everywhere, man. One year we actually started doing where you can rent like a unit. You know how people can do that? You can rent like a storage unit, just filled with coats, and they're all good condition, by the way. My dad doesn't give away any shitty coats. If people donate coats, they have to be in good condition, or he goes and reconditions them. And we give away all great coats. Many of them are new. We do give away. We have a lot of people that donate new coats to us, which is tremendous. But I appreciate you bringing it up, man. It's good time to promote it, and it's something I'm proud of because of my father, and I think he's proud of it, and he should be proud of it. But very cool. Appreciate you bringing that up, man. Let me keep rolling on some super chats, man. I got a lot of freaking super chats, and I don't think I'm gonna be able to read them all. I'll be here till 4 a.m. Leo Charles, do you think Sirianni wasn't taking the points the past few games because he saw Elliott failing kicks? Maybe. It's possible. It is possible. We can't overlook the monster game Carter had, no doubt. Reed Blankenship with the game sealer. Yes, sir. Paid number 2. You said he won't play our young guys. I don't know what that means. Keith Johnson, sorry to say, I think Elliott has the yips. Oof. Morgan Holmes. A lot of new people in here. I don't know all these people. Sileo, Carter is him. Jerome is my favorite player of all time, but that guy Carter is him. Jerome would be proud. I think Sileo would agree with that take. Prince Swayze, the offense didn't practice and it showed tonight. 2 games in 5 days. I'll take the win. Fans will cry about anything. Yes, Jalen had a bad game. I hear you, Prince. I hear you. If Q had 2 or 3 ints already, would he be clear rookie of the year? I don't know, dude. That Verse guy is playing good football, but I think he'd be up there. I think he'd be better than. I think there's 4th in the odds right now. I think he should be 2 or 3. Yeah, James had me too, dude. I'm waiting for Q to get his first pick. All right, I got to run, everybody. I'm getting Delulu up here. We're over 3 hours on the post-game show. I'm getting fucking Delulu. And I got to get up and battle with Johnny Mack in the morning. What should I battle with John about tomorrow? You guys got anything, any good topics you guys want to see me battle with McMullen about tomorrow? Patrick Mega O'Donnell says Hertz is going to be the downfall. Come on, man. Look, you got to remember, man, Hertz is also the reason that we're in this position. There's no 22 Super Bowl run in this team without Jalen Hurts. Like, guys, I try and be as fair as I possibly can. I really do. It's one of the things I honestly try and be when I'm up here is I try and tell you exactly what I'm thinking, whether it's right or wrong. I don't care about being right or wrong. I care about being honest and being truthful and speaking what I believe. I've been critical of Jalen at times, but we got to call a spade, dude. The guy has done a lot for this organization. The guy is a fucking winner. He is. He's just a winner. He's a winner. Does he have issues in the passing game? Sometimes, yeah. For sure. But every quarterback's going to have their issues, man. No doubt. Ramir says, Zan, do you agree Thursday night game's been trash? I mean, trash football, yeah. Some entertaining. Like last week's was crazy good, right, Ramir? I mean, when the Ravens took on the Bengals. Oh, now I'm yawning. But no, they've been pretty bad. That was crazy, though, when the Ravens came back in that game. Talk about how we can still win it all with him being average. Do you think we can, Akbar? Because remember, Akbar, in 22, he was no average player. Average was not a word to describe Jalen Hurts in 22. It was not. I don't care. His biggest hater should come here and be able to say that. He was not average in 22. So, that's my question. Gabe Santos, is Gabe still in here? It was great talking to Gabe tonight. Yeah, there's Gabe. Gabe, appreciate you, bro. Good stuff. Akbar says, Xander, talk about how a QB only need to make 6 plays to win a game. It's funny because you're actually not far off at all. You're not far off at all with that, Akbar. Actually, you're probably right on the number. But the other side of it, Akbar, is you can't have negative plays either, So, 2 yawns in 3 minutes means I got to retire, folks. I got to retire for the night. I'll be back. Listen, it was a great 20-hour run today. Got up at 6, so we're cooking here. Still at 2:25 in the morning. Woo! I love it. I'll be back tomorrow, man. Full day of content tomorrow. And then I'm also going to do a Saturday show because the Thursday game means we only have one day after the game. I got to do some Saturday content. I'm doing some Saturday content, so hopefully you guys will tune in on Saturday. But 8 to 10 a.m. tomorrow, Birds 365. 2 to 6 tomorrow, National Football Show. We'll have plenty of clips. I'm going to post out the segment from the people tonight, the Voice of the Fan segment. I might post that Saturday, guys, depending on how busy I am tomorrow. I have a shit ton of stuff. That I got to get to tonight before I hit the hay. A says, what's my Twitter? It's at Real Zander, brother. So Real Zander with a Z. Drop me a follow. I follow back everybody. So there it is. I put it on the screen at Real Zander. And give me a follow. Can everybody go and follow me over there? I love interacting with you guys. And I tweet during the game, and it almost feels like I'm in the JAKIB chat because people are responding to me. I'm answering people. We're talking. It's great stuff. So definitely give me a follow over on Twitter, and I will follow all of you back. And if you follow me now, I'll know that you came from here because who else is coming to follow me at 2:30 in the morning, right? Escobar, thanks for becoming a member tonight, bro. Peace, Big Z. Great post-game show. Thank you, man. Thank you, brother. Good Good stuff. Forrest, you're right. Fueled from the wind, man. You know what else I'm fueled by, Forrest? We got 17 of these things, man. 17 of these things. Plus playoffs, but, 17 of these things. Brian, appreciate you, man. I've always been a workhorse. Not to toot my own horn, but like I've always taken pride in, if I'm doing something, I'm going to do it to the best of my abilities, and I'm going to give everything I fucking got. I'm going to give everything I got. And that's what we're trying to do here with JAKIB, and I think the results are starting to show, and everybody is showing out. The communities definitely feel. I don't know if it feels like this to you guys, because it's it's only my perspective. I can only speak for me, but it feels like our community is getting stronger. It feels like we got a more loyal, passionate fan base. It feels like we're all like, more in touch with one another, because when we used to, when JAKIB first started on the sports, we had a much different method of building, which really wasn't the best method, to be honest with you. But, we paid a bunch of personalities. They didn't really give a shit about the network. All they cared about was getting a paycheck. And there was no connection with who is JAKIB, what is JAKIB, what makes JAKIB run, and then the relationship with the people that make JAKIB go. Now that relationship I think it's there. I don't know if it feels like that for you guys, but it definitely feels like that for me. Big J says, what a game. What a game, Big J. No doubt, man. Big game tonight, man. Good win. Good win for this team. That's going to do it, everybody, for the post-game show tonight. I'll read this because it just came in 8 minutes ago. How about Q Calcatraz Island for Q's nickname? I don't like it. Q Alcatraz? Calcatraz? Not your best work, bro. Not your best work. Not your best work, Jalen. But listen, we bounce back, all right? Yeah, I like Guantanamo Bay. Is good. You know what I don't like? I don't like the one where people. Which one don't I like? Oh, it's like Ku Klux Clamps. I'm like, that's fucking stupid. I don't want to say that about my football team. I'm sorry, I just don't. I mean, why do we want to bring up that? Right? It just has such negative connotation, and now we're bringing it up with dudes on our team. I don't know. I don't like that one. But Guantanamo Bay, I can get behind. Yeah, the Ku Klux Clamps is brutal. That's all over Twitter, by the way. Like, every time I go on Twitter, I see that talking about it. I'm like, that's a stupid-ass name. I'm not calling them that ever. Fucking dumb-ass name. I'd bring that negativity in there. That's just stupid. I don't know. I mean, why go down that route? All right, guys. I do this every time at the end of the postgame show where I'm supposed to end it. I don't end it, and then I end up just talking about dumb shit forever. Good night. Good night. I love you all, man. I really do. I say that no diddy. No diddy. I love you all, man. You guys are legends. You really are. And I appreciate the hell out of you guys more than you guys know. So thank you so much for everything you've done. Thank you so much for the support, the comments, the likes, the shares, the super chats, the opinions, the thoughts. You guys coming on the show was tremendous. Great talking with you all. And I will catch you guys in the morning on Birds 365. Thanks, everybody.
He's blocked well and tries to cut through the middle. Oh!
Your gut says Miami is going to win, and you should take the over. Your gut also said your NFT selfies would only go up in value. They didn't. But your head is on Sports Grid and knows the QB is in concussion protocol. The backup has a 45 QBR against the zone coverage. The New York D has the most sacks in the league. So yeah, trust your head. It's smarter to be on Sports Grid.
Score and save in Southeastern PA and Delaware with Colony Pools this football season, and let the experts close your pool with a custom Merlin safety cover in green for the birds. And if you join our Winter Watch team, we'll give you another 20% off, and Colony Pools will handle it all. Keep your tiles on your pool, not in your pool. Fly with Colony right now, Birds fans. Visit flywithcolony.com.
I get scared sometimes.
Of a lot of things.
Joining in
Decisions,
the dark.
the dark.
But I once heard someone say,
But as I always say,
it's okay to be afraid
as long as you face the fear.
and keep moving forward.
Wherever you are in life, count on the name trusted in insurance for over 80 years. Independence Blue Cross.
Hi everybody, my name's Jason Lombardi. I'm an inspector at DryTech. At DryTech we offer three major services, the first one being basement waterproofing. The second service we offer is foundation and structural repairs. And then the third service that we offer is mold remediation. If you feel you are having a waterproofing issue, give DryTech a call or check us out online.
Heading down the shore. Have a ball once more.
Here, imaginations run wild and time stands still. Because here, you can find the best of the Jersey Shore, all on one 5-mile island. So leave the old you behind and get lost in the woods.
Wild, wild, wildwood.
Plan your stay in the Wildwoods today.
EAGLES, Eagles.